Buckeyes, of course, win coming out of the East there a little bit. You see a look at the McEachern team. They're sort of the host team today.
Yep.
This is the first time this event has taken place outside of Gwinnett County after being at Collins Hill a year ago, and then Meadow Creek in year one. We kind of travel out to Cobb County and the McEachern Indians, the junior Indians, hosting this event here today.
I have been here many, many times, but every single time it kind of reminds you of how special this place is.
Yeah.
And I drove through the backside of campus today, Brent. I'm telling you, they have a new softball complex. Unbelievable. Not a speck of trash anywhere on this campus. So kudos to McEachern staff and this school system for hosting this. But what an unbelievable facility McEachern High School is.
Yeah, one of the nicest in the country, to be sure. An incredible backdrop for what we're going to provide here today. And, of course, if you've been with us in previous years for this event, you kind of know the story behind all of this. A collaboration between some of our local sheriffs, Craig Owens, the sheriff here in Cobb County, Kibo Taylor, the sheriff in Gwinnett County, and Patrick Labatt, the sheriff in Fulton County. And they come together, they work together, and this really becomes a community outreach event.
Yep.
You know, the purpose here is, kind of spread an anti-gang and anti-bullying message and really help families, the players, the young men who are involved here, if they find themselves having to confront some of that in their everyday life, then, develop some strategies for how you do that. That's kind of part of the community outreach. But, Rusty, the kind of unofficial part of this is it's just a great chance to sort of see a more relaxed version of our local law enforcement folks, the teams, the communities. Everybody kind of comes together and has a great time. Both the years we've done this previously, we've had great crowds on hand for this, and it's always been a ton of fun. We're getting ready to play some football here, so I'll quickly describe. We're going to do 2 10-minute quarters in kind of a round-robin fashion, kicking things off with Mill Creek and McEachern, of course, two names you know very well from the high school ranks. And then it's C.T. Martin, which represents Fulton County, not officially affiliated with the school. They'll take on Mill Creek after that. And then McEachern and C.T. Martin will kind of finish our round robin after that. So that's the sort of story here. We're going to jump into football here right now with the McEachern Junior Indians, the home team, if you will, from the 30-yard line. They're going to get going.
With this formation already in shotgun, twin stack receivers both sides of the field.
Interesting to see that. Quarterback going to roll around, going to now find some positive yards, get to the 35-yard line. Xavier McQueen there, I believe, at quarterback for the Junior Indians to kind of get things going.
Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised. They're going to go no huddle. They're going to go fast up on. You're going to see the signal in from the sideline. Quarterback's going to give the play. They're going to go shotgun. And that kind of tells you where Georgia middle school football is. This is the same formations you see on the collegiate level.
Mill Creek defensively, you see 5 guys right there at the defensive line of scrimmage. They'll meet the running back and drive him back there on second down. This is a Mill Creek team, by the way, that brings 37 players to this event here. So by far the largest roster, and you got to look there at Luke Jackson, who was kind of in on that stop for the Hawks.
Also, Jordan Gomez, big nose guard, number 23 there in the middle. You don't see the old nose guard, number 23, but you do in the 7th grade, and he actually blew that play up with some early penetration there.
You're looking at the third down here. McQueen looking to throw, may have gotten tipped to the line at scrimmage. It's going to be a pass caught.
Good
close
tackle.
to first down yardage. Second effort,
job.
got it there. And that's going to move the chains for the Junior Indians. Nice catch that time by A.J. Coates.
Yeah, nice job there getting ball out in space. The Mill Creek defender closed on him. I thought he had him to the ground, but McEachern wide receiver breaks the tackle there and moves the chains.
So this one of 2 quarters being played here.
10-minute quarters, correct?
10-minute quarters, that's right. A running play this time. Mill Creek there to meet in the backfield. Not much doing that time for Damani Hernandez.
Good job there by the Mill Creek defensive end. I didn't grab that number, but I believe that's 35 for Mill Creek. Logan Pierce.
Of course, a lot of these Mill Creek players will go on to be a part of a program led by Josh Lovelady that's won a state championship, one of the best in the state, and, of course, McEachern, a long-time heritage in terms of success, too.
Josh Lovelady is actually an assistant coach on this team. His son is playing number 22, Tate Lovelady.
McQueen got time to throw.
Oh, man.
Not able to connect, though, with Caden Harrison that time. Harrison got good size, but could not hold on to that one. That'll bring up third down.
Man, those are those early plays in the year that he most likely makes that in practice every single day. Just turned up a little bit early, took his eye off the football, and it hits the ground. But nice play design there, a little bootleg.
McEachern kind of going sort of a gradient style on the uniform. Normally on Friday nights, McEachern pretty traditional with their blue and gold. A little bit of a gradient look here.
They'll be traditional in high school, I can assure you that.
So looking at third down now. McQueen, pressure, gets it off. It's caught in the backfield. Getting up, though, up to the 40-yard line, kind of back to that original line of scrimmage that time. Javaris Meeks there on that.
Good job by Mill Creek running to the football. First guy missed it. Second guy held him up long enough for his teammates to get there. Short gain there after a couple of missed tackles, but running to the football there by the Mill Creek Hawks.
This is our third annual Sheriff's Cup, kind of a round robin today featuring the two teams you see here, Grayson and McEachern, and then C.T. Martin out of Fulton County. We'll see them coming up here in a little bit. Over the course of our round robin, we'll eventually emerge with two finalists, if you want to call them that, either based on just outright winning or points allowed as a tiebreaker, and that'll be our championship a little bit later on. And it looks like McEachern is going to punt here on fourth down. It's a high snap, and then just kind of a free punt, almost like you're watching a spring game in college.
Yeah. Special teams plays to be dead.
I believe that was Javaris Meeks who got that, and going to get a nice roll there. McEachern going to run down and dead that, but the officials do that for them. So they'll flip the field after getting the football to begin the game, and it'll be our first chance from the 16-yard line to now see the Mill Creek offense. Of course, when you think about Mill Creek offensively, you think about lots of great players at the high school level. Caleb Downs, of course. Now, you think of him as safety, obviously, but at Ohio State this year, there's talk he may play some offense. We certainly saw him doing plenty of that for Mill Creek a couple of years ago.
Let me tell you something. If I had Caleb Downs on any team in America and he wanted to run offense as well, I would definitely find a way to get him some snaps.
Whichever place he wanted to be.
One of the best players.
Find a way to get him used.
One of the best players I've ever covered in my 15 years for sure.
And, of course, that state championship for Mill Creek still a source of pride for that community, as you imagine it would be. Now on first down, the Hawks will have the football for the first time. That's going to be a direct snap straight ahead. It's Blaine Strickland getting a chance to carry it there on first down. He may have gotten about 4 that time.
That was Blaine Strickland on the run.
See, formation they go here.
Second down now coming up. You see Strickland wearing 44, playing the quarterback position. There's Jason Strickland, the head coach of this Mill Creek team. Now it's going to be a handoff and a sweep play, running left side, makes a man miss, getting there to the 20-yard line. Nice carry that time by Jace Woodall.
Mill Creek, was the largest school in the state of Georgia. They lose 1,000 freshmen to second year, and there's still over 3,000 students, which is unbelievable.
And when you think about the size of the community, the way they come out and support their program year after year.
Yep.
And I know one of the things we'll get into over the course of our day today is the kind of new classifications in Georgia high school football, the fun we're going to have there. 7A is gone. It's now 6A is the highest classification. And, of course, a big battle with Mill Creek and Buford Brewing in their region later on. You see the handoff there. It goes to the big guy, Jordan Gomez, but Gomez is going to be met in the backfield. Nice job defensively by McEachern to corral that.
Yeah, good job getting up the field. McEachern showed kind of blitz off the edge, and they came right into that play design there. Going to be a little quick handoff, and you see the penetration there by McEachern defensive end. I don't know the number there. It's hard to see those numbers, kind of. That was number 20.
Yeah, the paint splotches around the numbers are probably not doing anything.
If you were an old school PA guy, this would drive you nuts on a Friday night. So
I can promise you Larry Muntz would have a stern rebuke.
Man.
All right, it looks like now on fourth down, Grayson going to return the favor after receiving a McEachern punt. Now they're going to be out to punt it again, too. And I believe it's going to be Tate Lovelady, as you mentioned, the son of the varsity head coach, Josh Lovelady, who's going to be on to punt here. Takes the snap, and in kind of a dead ball situation, gets the punt away. The catch is made, but not returnable based on the rules. We're kind of doing kind of a modified special teams, and this is one of those things where, you know, coaches and the organizer, our good friend I.J. Roseberg, they kind of get together and they kind of try to make a format that kind of makes sense to get the most football in the most timely, efficient way possible. And obviously we'll minimize special teams. But if you're watching these guys play in a regular GFL game or something like that on the weekends, they're pretty much playing true football.
Yeah, and the traditional kickoffs, not what you're going to see on the NFL right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Good defensive stand there, opening stand by McEachern. I think Mill Creek only gained 1 yard on 3 downs, so see how they adjust.
McQueen still in the quarterback from McEachern, and while you see obviously the very advanced formations, things like that, the overall crispness of the offense, especially this early in the season, probably not quite as reminiscent. But nice run by McQueen. He's not going to be touched, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone for a touchdown and the first points of our Sheriff's Cup here this year.
Great formation call there. They go trips right, and he basically RPO reads this with a keeper. They overload the formation to the right. He comes back to the left on a keeper for the touchdown.
Xavier McQueen for McEachern gets the Junior Indians on the board.
Look at him read that. He keeps it gone. And that's called another year, Brandon.
That's exactly right. And McEachern going to line up and go for 2, as a lot of junior football teams often do. McQueen now looking to pass, going to the corner on the left side, fight for the football, and he comes down with it. Converting the try is Caden Harrison.
Man, I love it. They go exact same formation. They just go one-on-one with their guy this time. The exact same formation. Trips right, throws it one-on-one in coverage. The defender's there.
So if you want to know what 12-year-old football looks like in Georgia, you get a nice taste of it right there. We're just underway with this year's Sheriff's Cup.
Where the bats flip, the balls break, and the lumber is used to build a dynasty. The Stripers play on Peachtree Sports Network tonight at 6. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way!
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in the past. We deliver the stars, stories, moments, and games that define the very essence of sports.
Touchdown! Hang on! Hammer time!
Because when you celebrate the past, you embrace the future. Origin Sports. Run it back.
It takes passion, hustle, grit. And it only works if you do. It's the dream. And the only place to find it is on Peachtree TV, where your Atlanta dream takes on the basketball world, where the dream becomes a reality, where the dream is the other team's worst nightmare. Only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 3rd annual Sheriff's Cup here, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, Smart Local 85, and in partnership with the Cobb County Sheriff, Gwinnett County Sheriff, and Fulton County Sheriff's Department. We get 2 defensive stands by both these teams, McEachern and Mill Creek, to kick things off. Then on the second offensive possession a moment ago, McEachern found the end zone in a Xavier McQueen touchdown run, added a 2-point conversion by Caden Harrison, and that's where you get our 8-0 score, and boom, big play by the Junior Indians. Defensively there as well. And we're looking at around about 4 minutes to go here in this particular half, and these two teams will play 10-minute, we call them quarters or halves against each other. It's 2 10-minute periods, let's say it like that. Almost reminiscent of the old Julian Rochester on that big play from the defensive line.
He actually coaches here now at the high school.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Second year.
That's great to hear. So we're looking at second down now. Strickland still in a quarterback. Going to throw, got a man open, and it's a pass caught midfield and out of bounds to the 45-yard line. Jace Woodall there to haul it in. Second catch of the day for him.
I tell you what, Mill Creek said, hey, we're not going to run the ball this time. We're going shotgun, throw it. Love the play design here.
And for a 12-year-old, that's a lot of arm strength to get the ball outside the number like that.
Did you see 13 track that ball?
Mm-hmm.
Jace Woodall.
Impressive.
Great job. This is amazing. 7th grade, I mean, we were lucky to line up and not fall over each other. These guys are in the shotgun, running RPOs.
Direct snap, by the way. Straight ahead by a Marion Vick. You love the idea of a Vick wearing the number 7 here in the Atlanta area. You love that.
Has some dreads. Like it.
Takes the direct snap, goes up right away.
He's got Vick on his back pad.
2nd 1 after about a 9-yard gain. Vick still in kind of as a fullback here. It's kind of funny. You got Vick in as sort of a fullback at number 7. He's just going to power straight ahead. Quarterback wearing 44. It's almost like you want to flip those two numbers.
7th grade, baby. And those guards 23.
That's exactly right.
I'll tell you this, one thing I will notice, you said something about the numbers in Mill Creek. A lot of the McEachern defensive linemen are playing both ways.
Yeah.
So they haven't left the field. Maybe that's something Mill Creek sees a little bit early. They're going to go right at these guys, see if they can tire them down a little bit.
And keep in mind, we have an unusual format, as we pointed out. This is a round robin involving 3 teams. So depth, if you've got it, it's going to be an advantage here today. There's Strickland taking the snap as a quarterback, trying to find something on the right side. But once again, McEachern, who, as you said, they've got a lot of guys playing a lot of snaps, but they are active up there near the line of scrimmage, too, including a really nice play up front that time.
They go unbalanced right. That was straight quarterback sweep. McEachern eats that play up. Good job there by their defensive line because Mill Creek thought they had them outflanked to the right.
Of course, we'll see McEachern, as we almost always do, in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic 2 weekends from now. Mercedes-Benz Stadium taking on a good North Gwinnett team. A little bit of a bobble almost on that handoff.
They went same formation. They just tried to come back this way with it.
This Mill Creek's first appearance in our Sheriff's Cup. It was Grayson representing Gwinnett County a year ago, and in year 1 of the Sheriff's Cup, it was exclusively 2 Gwinnett County teams, Parkview and Grayson, who played there. By the way, we're 90 seconds to go in our first period here.
You see Coach Lovelady there. First thing you notice about Mill Creek, they got headsets on.
Yeah.
That means they got a guy up top, you know. That's great. Again, not sure the old Rusty Bantel 7th grade coaches had headsets. So it's a lot more developed here.
Maybe a Walkman headset.
Yeah.
Clock being kept on the field. By the way, Strickland throwing again, and it's intercepted. Nice play to step in front of that.
He's gone.
And heading down the sideline.
Uh-oh.
May run out of gas before he gets there. Can he make it? He is going to go into the end zone for an interception return for a touchdown. Bringing all the way. Oh, there's a flag.
Oh, man.
A.J. Coates may have an interception return taken back here.
What, an unnecessary block. And you see the McEachern coach talking to the young man. We're going to get a block in the back around the 40, which is going to bring this back. But great job there by McEachern breaking on that ball. My man had to run a long way early in the morning.
You almost wondered if he was just going to.
This ain't middle school. This ain't the old youth league where you stop at the 20.
Yeah.
But, man, a costly penalty. And I'll say this about the McEachern coach. He just pulled the young man to the side.
Yeah.
He just talked to him very calmly and said, you cannot do that.
Coach is going to take a break right there.
I mean,
after a long run.
Oh, man.
After the interception by Coach.
But as you were saying, this is the purpose of youth football. It's to teach these kinds of things. And by the way, they're still teaching that on Fridays as well, and sometimes on Saturdays too, when you see blocks in the back away from the play.
That was literally 5 yards behind the play. Just no really sense in that. And they'll use that for a teaching point with that young man. But great play by that defender, jumping the route for the turnover.
McEachern going back on offense again. McQueen going to throw again. Couldn't quite come up with his intended target that time.
Looking for Caden Harrison on that play.
So 2nd down now coming up here. McEachern leads 8-0. We're inside of a minute in our first period. Clock being kept on the field here right now. These two teams will turn around and play another period there as well. And we're going to treat this like halves. In other words, when the clock ends, the possession will also end too. As you see McQueen running again. Makes a man miss and makes another man miss. Inside the 10, second rushing touchdown of the day for Xavier McQueen.
Man, they thought he was going to go out of bounds. They thought that the Mill Creek defenders had the angle on him, and I watched two defenders pull up because they thought he was going to go out of bounds. Watch at the end. I believe you're going to see 23. One of the other defenders, they think right here. Look, they let up a little bit. He's going to go out of bounds. Nope, cuts back. Touchdown.
Man, you got to be impressed by the athleticism from McEachern thus far. It's 42 seconds, by the way. You know, the A.J. Coates interception didn't end up being for a touchdown, but the way in which he ran down the sideline, you saw his athleticism. McQueen shown that. Harrison, who fought for that extra 2-point conversion earlier, McQueen going to throw right side this time. Now it's going to be almost intercepted. Princeton Moore made a nice play to get in front of the football. Couldn't quite hold on, but did a great job of preventing that 2-point conversion, and perhaps a moment that can provide a little momentum here coming up for Mill Creek, getting the football back, trailing 14-0 inside of a minute, about 42 seconds left in this first period. These same two teams will then turn around and play another 10-minute period after that.
And that pass was intended for A.J. Coates.
Brandon Adams, Rusty Mansell, the start of what will be a long next few months for us, and I said that in the most exciting way possible because we got Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic coming up in a couple of weekends, and then the drive for the GHSA state title after that. And, you know, we can't announce all of this yet, but I know behind the scenes, Rusty, and you work as hard on this as anybody does, what an incredible crop of games we're going to have to put on display. And what we'll talk a lot about how exciting the college football season is going to be this year because of some new stuff, but I do believe the kind of truncating of the classifications, the expanding in some cases of some of these regions, I think this is going to be a much more interesting high school football season than perhaps we've seen in some time as well.
I do. I mean, we'll talk about it the next play here.
It's a direct snap to Vic again. Vic going to be mad. Now, he's going to fight forward and get a couple. He's a good-sized athlete, and it took his, just sheer strength and power to get anything out of that because he was met right on the snap. And you'll see Mill Creek calling timeouts here because of the fact that they're obviously going to end this possession and end this. So while they take a timeout, all right, so we're going to stay here. Mill Creek calling timeouts because this period will end their possession. They got 7 seconds here, time being kept on the field. So Mill Creek trying to strategize something here. And obviously, Rusty, you got to be careful because you'd like to try to get something if you could, but you can't be too risky because we've already seen A.J. Coates show an ability to step in front of a football if it's out there for them. So kind of an interesting strategy to employ if you're Mill Creek right now, what you want to do with the remaining time that you have.
Still trying to figure things out. I know Mill Creek, obviously, just looking at McEachern, you had to be worried about the big play. They gave up a couple, missed tackle here, broke contain. But you think with Mill Creek, they like to run the football, and you got to know that McEachern's playing a lot of kids both ways at offensive defensive line we mentioned earlier. So let's see if they stay within their game plan and kind of run. Looks like they got something here with Big Vic at 7.
Yeah, and keeping in mind, too, it's like we saw McEachern stymied on its first offensive possession. Then the second possession, that's when Xavier McQueen made a man miss, made a big play with his legs. Mill Creek could also find that same thing here, too, because, as you said, with Vic and others, they've clearly got the athleticism to perhaps find a running play that's a little safer in terms of the mitigated risk, but also creates an opportunity for something to happen.
A little different formation coming out right here. Different quarterback, too.
Yeah, different quarterback in the game. That's Princeton Moore in at quarterback. He's going to get positive yardage up around the 39-yard line, but that's also, I believe, going to bring us to an end in this period. They're getting back up. Clock has not stopped yet. It's third down. So looks like Mill Creek's still going to have time to run a play. Clock is being kept on the field. We were thinking up here that we might be seeing an end to the period, but apparently not for Mill Creek. Moore still in the quarterback, takes a big hit, and it is a first down.
He's got a little more wiggle to him. They go basically shotgun quarterback sweep there.
All right, now the whistle blows. The quarter comes to an end. So that's going to bring it to a close here, and we'll come back and show you 10 more minutes of what's turned out to be a pretty entertaining game thus far between Mill Creek and McEachern. Having a great time today as a part of our 3rd annual Sheriff's Cup. We'll be right back after this.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
We have a passion to serve, a passion for excellence and integrity, a passion for our community. Together, we're committed to building the best sheriff's office in the state, where coworkers become family, where education and training leads to innovation, where trust leads to serving the people of Cobb with our best. One team, one fight, one community. Are you ready to make a difference? Join the Cobb County Sheriff's Office and join the fight.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
Welcome back, everybody. Third annual Sheriff's Cup here live from Cantrell Stadium on the campus of McEachern High School. Of course, a lot of this brought today by our friends at IBEW. You can empower your future with IBEW Local 613. Good pay, job security, and a bright career path in the electrical trade. We're so happy to see so many folks making those great career decisions to put more money in your pocket and have a more enjoyable life because of the work you do with all kinds of our local trades here, including our friends from GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, IBEW making that possible. And happy to have them as a part of our third annual Sheriff's Cup here in concert with the Fulton County, Cobb County, and Gwinnett County Sheriff's Departments there as well. We had media day here last week in Atlanta, or 2 weeks ago, and I heard it was fantastic at the union headquarters there in Atlanta. And what a great opportunity for those young men to see pipe fitting and welding and how much money those guys make. Absolutely. I mean, it is. No debt. You're not getting these major,
like
student loans.
Instant income.
That's absolutely true. And safer working conditions and things like
that. Totally different than your old granddad going to the old factory and working and doing those things. Those days are long gone, but happy to have Georgia Careers, GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Sorry, buddy Randy in the parking lot a little earlier today. Always great to see him. And, when you start seeing these faces, IJ and Roddy White, our producer, and we go several months without seeing a lot of our friends here, and we all get back together again. It's just the band back together.
It's a good feeling for me. I hope it is for everybody else. It's certainly a very good feeling for me.
It's like the old fall tour. We got concert dates, and here's where we're going. We need a T-shirt, man. Randy needs to get us a T-shirt. It's the fall tour.
If that's the case, I'm not quite sure what instrument I'd be playing, but nonetheless. So Mill Creek is going to keep the football here, by the way. But that's also on the basis of the fact that McEachern had the ball to begin the game. So Mill Creek had the ball to end the quarter. They're beginning, but that's because of the alternating possessions with the quarters. Does everybody understand that? If you have any questions, text Rusty. He'll tell you everything you need to understand about that.
Yeah, send me an email. I'll get back with you on Monday on what happened.
You still see Vic lined up at fullback there, and Princeton Moore, who's coming at quarterback, you see him remaining there too. Straight ahead to Vic, though. So it's going to be a third down now coming up. We'll see if you're going to have, by the way, wholesale changes here offensively for Mill Creek, including what appears to be Blaine Strickland coming back in at quarterback. And then a lot of other personnel changes, too. So they're going to
They're going to spread this out here.
McEachern, a lot of big bodies up front. This is a program that has a history at the high school level of doing that. Strickland going to do the inside handoff, trying to find something on the left side, but a big hit. I think that was Woodall on the carry that time. Man, he took a big hit from Caden Harrison, who's doing it on both sides of the ball right now for the Junior Indians. And that'll bring up fourth down.
It's going to bring up a fourth down for the Mill Creek Hawks after the stop by McEachern.
see if we can see this again.
I'll tell you right now, up front, McEachern is flying around defensively. They really are showing on the edges, giving him issues. Look at him. You know, don't make the play, but you cause the quarterback there basically to run the hump and let everybody else time to get there.
Harrison's a good football player.
I tell you, McEachern, pretty impressive right here, especially defensively up front.
If you're just joining us, we'll punt here, but essentially operating as a dead ball situation. So it's a chance to flip the field, but not a chance for a return. And McEachern with the lead gets the football back now. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel. We are in the second of 2 10-minute periods involving Grayson and McEachern.
Mill Creek and McEachern.
Excuse me, yeah. Grayson was last year. Mill Creek and McEachern.
Hey, it's preseason, baby.
Thank you so much for that. When we're done with this, by the way, we're under 8 minutes to go in this second period, clock being kept in the field. When we're done here, Mill Creek will stay out and take on C.T. Martin. Will be our first chance to see that team from Fulton County coming out after that. Then it'll be Martin on the field against McEachern. And once we've got kind of a composite score from all of those half games, then the two teams that have emerged as the top will then play in the finals after that. There's a handoff.
Any parent that has ever been involved with travel sport will understand this. It's a round robin, and the top two teams
That's
are going to play.
exactly right.
Top two teams are going to play at the end.
Yeah, listen, we got all kinds of folks around the state of Georgia that get that. You show up at the first thing in the morning, and you stay as long as they tell you to, as long as you keep winning.
There's a lot of parents right now trying to avoid that gate fee and trying to find out when the championship game is. Been there and done that.
A lot of perfect game wristbands
for sale.
$10 a pop.
We're not condoning that. We just understand it.
There you go. Handoff. You maybe bring that back. It would be to midfield and a
offsides, I believe, against Mill Creek.
Houston Solomon, but got a penalty flag on the play.
I think the defensive end lined up offsides. Now, fast forwarding, as we say this, we will be back here. Brandon, I'm not sure if you know this. We have moved Georgia Elite Classic back to McEachern this year, just because of we've just outgrown our space in Rome.
Sure.
Enjoyed our time. That's my hometown. It's been an unbelievable experience there. But saying that, we have the 7th grade game that we had last year. And looking at these guys, I would imagine we're going to see a lot of these kids right here playing in that 7th grade game as we move forward into December, which will be, we kind of cap our season off there, but we will be back here in December for the Georgia Elite Classic, and we do have a 7th grade game.
There's another handoff. You had a pair of receivers on both sides, but it's a handoff going to the middle of the field. Getting closer to a first down that time was Kingston Solomon. Second down instead, though. Right there at the line to make. And that time, I believe the chains are going to move. Once again, Solomon on the handoff. He took kind of a big hit, but I believe he's going to get enough for that first down and move the chains here for the Indians, already leading 14-0.
I believe this is a brand new turf field, man. It looks good, too.
Does. Xavier McQueen still in a quarterback. Solomon is his running back to the left side there.
See Mill Creek, they're basically a 3-4, 3-down lineman, 3-3.
That's the handoff.
They're in a 3-3 stack defensive formation. So, you know, by numbers, McEachern's going to try to run at that.
You see a 21 in for McEachern. I don't have that number on my roster. We may have to get some clarification on that.
As the day goes on, we don't need moms.
That's right. The pass tipped and incomplete.
Play there, Xavier Cloud.
Yeah, trying to get Javaris Meeks involved and would have had a chance to make the catch if not for the deflection. We're sitting right here at 5 minutes to go in the second of our 2 periods between Mill Creek and McEachern. Walter H. Cantrell Stadium. course, this is a venue that's hosted Corky Kell Classic games before, and so much other great football throughout the years. That was also a 20. Yeah, it's 21 again for McEachern. We need to get some. I wonder if we can get somebody up here to give us some clarification on that. But it's going to get the ball to the 5-yard line and move the chains for the junior Indians right there.
Timeout. I believe they're going to talk about this formation that McEachern's running defensively.
So while they talk about that, Mill Creek calling a timeout, we'll do that with them. Hawks trying to find some momentum on the defensive side. We'll be right back after this.
I'm honored to be the 28th Sheriff of Fulton County. Our goal is to make sure that our community knows that we can count on them, they can count on us, and ultimately building those relationships, making sure it's a collaborative effort.
We have to work hard to build that trust. We have to work hard to maintain that trust as well.
Our motto is service. It just means dedicating yourself to your job, doing what you're supposed to do at all times, even when no one's watching.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off. Safety violation. Unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
The Smart Local 85 Sheriff's Cup Invitational is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office. One team, one fight, one community. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Service. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. Teamsters Local 728. We fight for hard-working families. And Sports Turf. You bring the vision. We'll bring it to life.
Welcome back, everybody. Third annual Sheriff's Cup, Walter H. Cantrell Stadium on the campus of McEachern High School, and the home team, if you will. And by the way, you see a look at the game through this beautiful video board here at McEachern.
Unbelievable.
The home team looking pretty good here right now with the football, leading 14-0 in the first of a series of kind of round-robin matchups here today. Flag coming in, by the way, after a timeout for Mill Creek. Let's see what it is. Looks like it's going to be a substitution penalty on McEachern offensively. One of the few things to go wrong for McEachern here thus far, leading 14-0. By the way, let's give a shout out to our officials here, brought to you by Deer Park. Tim Smith is our referee. Matthew West, Alan Buckley, Gordon Thomas, Jason Collins, all here to make sure everything runs smoothly. And, of course, we appreciate Deer Park, delicious water, for being a part of everything going down today there as well.
Especially today.
Yeah. Listen, the Deer Park is flowing for sure.
Trips formation. See if they come back toward the bottom of the screen here.
Different quarterback, by the way, in the game.
Right at the top.
That's going to be a handoff again. Active in the backfield. At the line of scrimmage was Mill Creek defensively once again. You see the look at the Mill Creek uniforms. We were joking earlier, I should say the McEachern uniforms. McEachern traditionally wears a very traditional look on Fridays and a great looking uniform. This is obviously a cool uniform too, but it's obviously a little bit more befitting the younger guys today with the gradient look, the paint splotches. It's a little different than what you would normally see on a McEachern Friday night.
I would be willing to say that McEachern and Mays, two of the better uniforms.
Yeah, really sharp. Really sharp. Looking at second down here. Now looking to throw. A receiver is there, and it's going to be a pass caught and brought down there at the 20-yard line. Ivory Scott is there to bring it down for the Junior Indians, and he's down to the 21-yard line.
Man, he just comes back and gets this. The ball is underthrown. The Mill Creek defender is actually on it. But watch Coates come back in and get this. He kind of throws it up a little bit short. Watch him come right back, high point that ball. Good job coming back. That's called tracking the football. And any Georgia fan that knows the last couple of years, that is a George Pickens special right there.
And you're right, that was A.J. Coates, who has an interception already today, who had that interception.
Great job.
Michael Willis gets a chance to carry the football that time for the Junior Indians. We are in the red zone here there as well. Presented by Smart Local 85.
Just making big plays, athletic plays from McEachern right now. Same formation, trips. Trying to spread Mill Creek out a little bit. Looks like Mill Creek's going one-on-one, cover one right here.
Looks like it may be Camden Phelps in at quarterback right now.
See if they throw a deep ball.
Instead, it's going to be a handoff on the left side. Getting a block, some room inside the 10, down to around the 6-yard line.
Good job, just making people miss. They pinned the defensive end here. Break, contain. They were stacked against the run there. They basically went cover zero with no safety. Stacked the box, and McEachern was still able to move the chains.
Finding something on the ground with Michael Willis right now. 2:30, by the way, left in this period. So McEachern's in full control of everything here right now.
Yeah,
Mill Creek desperately needs a turnover. Now, keep in mind that because of our tiebreaker, which is points allowed, even if Mill Creek is not destined to win this first of the round robin matchups against McEachern, there is still something to be said if Mill Creek can keep McEachern out of the end zone, because that's obviously, and as you said earlier, Rusty, anyone who understands, anything about youth sports sort of gets points allowed or runs allowed, or, whatever sport you're talking about, as a very traditional tiebreaker. So for Mill Creek, avoiding points here could benefit them later on if, obviously, the next football to be played is in its favor.
The old run differential.
There's going to be a handoff again, spinning inside the 5. Kingston Solomon once again.
Good job there showing on that by the Mill Creek defensive backs.
Get a chance to see this again. Mill Creek trying to
Luke Jackson.
Yeah, fly to that football there.
Good job, Luke Jackson coming up unblocked. He's one-on-one. They expect him to make the tackle, and he did.
By the way, not the same Luke Jackson. Just got traded back to Atlanta Braves this week. Let's clarify that.
Let me tell you something. My man Randy McMichael at 929 The Game has been hot ever since. He won't even say his name.
Handoff again. Mill Creek gonna meet it right there too.
Big Mason Fowler, number 90 there in the middle, just plugs it up. No
Boy, he looks like a Mill Creek football player, doesn't he?
That looks like a Mill Creek football player.
Number 90 Mason Fowler looks like somebody you'd see right there in Houston on a Friday night.
Yep. My man had 2 Crustables this morning. Came ready to play, guaranteed.
We're right at about 30 seconds here.
It's a big play here
in this period, and it seems obvious that McEachern's destined to win the first of our round robins here, but as we said, because of the points allowed, Mill Creek wants to keep them out of the end zone. We're looking at 15 seconds now, clock being kept on the field. These young players, are they aware of that? They are deliberate with their pace here right now. It's McQueen back into quarterback. He's going to run straight ahead. Did he get in? He did. 3rd rushing touchdown of this matchup for McQueen. When they needed to find their way to the end zone, they turned to the guy who's been doing it for them all day long.
Yeah, they just spread them out there formation-wise. And let their quarterback pick a gap. Touchdown.
So here's the game's key first down, by the way, that what set this up a little earlier.
Watch him come back to this.
It was the throw here that Coates comes back and gets. And, man, I love his length. I love his ability, whether it be defensively or offensively, to go track the football. Impressive. And, of course, that sets up Xavier McQueen in his third rushing touchdown of this round-robin matchup.
I mean, you look.
And that brings it to a close. McEachern will get the win against Mill Creek. Mill Creek will stay on the field, though, get ready to take on CT Martin in a couple of minutes. So let's take a quick timeout. We got a whole lot more football to go on our third annual Sheriff's Cup from McEachern High School here today.
Where the bats flip, the balls break, and the lumber is used to build a dynasty. The Stripers play on Peachtree Sports Network tonight at 6. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo.
Oh my gosh. World Chase Tag is the Pro League tournament for the planet's most intense new game, which takes the art of being hunted down to a whole new level. It is relentless and fiercely intense, with a chaser having just 20 seconds to get a hand on an invader.
He's done it! He has done it!
And there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Tuesdays at 7 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Captain Yamina Holt of the Cobb County Sheriff's Department. This is my third year doing this, but it's the first year that it's been hosted in Cobb County. Do you have bragging rights, or is it all love with everyone else?
It's a little bit of both. Sheriff Craig Owens is a big competitor. He is a hometown home sport guy, and he give us those orders, and we go out and we make it happen. And it just so happens that we have it here in Cobb County, where I'm sitting up here predicting that the McEachern Indians are going to bring it home.
It's so awesome that you have 3 counties that are represented today. What's the collaboration between the 3 of you been like this week?
Oh my goodness, it has been all hands on deck. Everybody has been pulling together, from Gwinnett to Fulton, even some of our other local sheriff's offices that were not able to participate. They have been here for us. So it's been a lot of fun and a lot of planning.
One of the things I love about this event is the meaning behind it. Talk about the initiative. Why do you do this to begin with?
Well, we have found that 7th graders, these 12-year-olds, they are very impressionable at this time. And it's important that we talk to them at this age about anti-bullying, anti-gang, standing up for each other, being that support system, and letting them know that as a backbone, the sheriff's office, their local law enforcement, we're here for them.
What sort of resources do you provide to help push your initiative to these young kids?
Well, in addition to having our community engagement units that are out in the school systems, we are partnering. We're going to different people that we can talk to, doing inspirational banquets, just being there for them. And then we have a lot of partners in the community that just pour out. They're always coming, trying to see how it is that they can help.
So a little birdie told me before this that you have been the brains behind this entire operation. What other events have y'all done this week for your cause?
So we start out the Sheriff's Cup by going to the different practices that they have, engaging those students at that age or at that time. This week, last night, we had a banquet, and Sheriff provided us the resources to be able to go out and engage them. And so we had speakers come in to talk to them, give them a little motivation, talk about character, how important that is, and fed them really, really well. Grits and eggs and vinings, they came out, and so we had a good meal. We had a casual conversation, but a very meaningful and important conversation. And I think they received it.
And just listening to you speak, I can tell how passionate you are about this. How did you get into the role you are now?
Well, being in law enforcement for the past 23 years, working in our community is something that I really love, so it helps that Sheriff Owens is one that is for the community. And so I am a football mom. I love the sport. I love my community. As such, our partners with Fulton and Gwinnett. So this is what we do. Our heart is in it.
So for those out there in the community, how can they find out more about this event or even contribute towards it?
So each one of the sheriff's office have their own sheriff's foundation. We have the Cobb Sheriff's Foundation, where Mr. Robert Haley is the CEO of. They can donate through the foundations. You can also reach out to the respective sheriff's offices and always have my information. You can always reach out to me.
Captain Yamina Holt, it has been my absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you for all that you're doing, not just here today, but for the community as well. And if you're just now joining us and you missed game one, we want to let you look at the highlights from the first game. And welcome back to the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. I'm Kaylee Mansell with someone who is absolutely no stranger to this set. It's Kenny Mullins of the IBEW Local 613. I think that you've been doing this with me since day one, and I guess the biggest question I have is, why in the world do you come back to us?
Because this is such a good event. The Sheriff's Cup is amazing. It allows our 7th graders to come out and play football and be televised. And it's just a good initiative, anti-bullying, anti-gang. And these 3 sheriffs in these counties are just, I want to commend them because they are in the community, they're a part of this, and you don't see that much. So.
And you're a Cobb County local, so this hits a little bit closer to home, right? How awesome is it to have it here for the first time ever?
It's awesome. Go McEachern. Sheriff Taylor, we'll get together after this game. You got me last year in Gwinnett, but we're going to get you in Cobb this year.
So this is not the only philanthropic event that you're involved with. What other sort of things does the IBEW do within the community to help outreach?
So recently we just had our women's committee from all over our jurisdiction come in to Lake Allatoona, and we built a dock. So we all put together a team of all of our women's committee throughout the building trades, and it was an awesome event. We built a dock that was needing to be rebuilt, and we got out in the community and we made it happen.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I always like to ask is, high school is such a special group. We have middle school out here today. Why target this age group to push what it is that the IBEW does?
For far too long, we've been a secret. So we want to get it out there. We want to saturate these young kids with other options. Everybody can't go play at the next level. So we just want them to know that there is another option where you can make a great living. You can have a pension when you retire and live comfortably.
Yeah,
have insurance.
Talk about more of the benefits. Why is this the best kept secret?
Well, number one is we've got folks retiring with over $1.5 million in their pension funds. You know, pensions are something that are leaving America, and only few organizations have them, and unions are ones that still offer pensions. So, and then our family health care. Our contractors pay for your health care. We don't have to pay for insurance on our families. The contractors cover that. It's just a great benefit, good money. We can work all over the country in 970 different cities. So it's got a lot of good benefits to it. It's been good to me.
So for those at home who are watching, where can they find out more?
Go to IBEW613.org.
Kenny Mullins, thank you so much for being with us today, and I know we're going to see you at the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic,
will.
right?
Thank
okay,
you.
Good. I'm putting you on the spot. Guys, we will be back with more after the break.
Live from PSN, this is the Smart Local 85 Sheriff's Cup Invitational.
on set here at the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Assistant Chief Deputy Gina Hawkins of the Cobb County Sheriff's Department. One of our favorite things about this event is that we get to display middle schoolers. Nowhere else in the country do we put middle schoolers on TV. Why use this age group to push what the Sheriff's Cup is all about?
Absolutely. So middle schoolers who are watching this sports and football, right, they are so inspirational, right, and influential, right? So at this age, we've realized that they can go one way or the other. Anti-bullying and anti-gang opportunities to talk to them about that when they are afraid to ask questions. This is the perfect age group to inspire them so that they can see other future leaders. We bring those speakers to come and talk to them, but that way they know they have a resource, whether it's their parent, a coach, a teammate, or even law enforcement. We're here for them, and this age is so crucial for their future.
I have to say I'm a little bit biased because I live here in Cobb County, so Cobb County supremacy, but we do have multiple counties represented here today. But for Cobb County specifically, what's the biggest issue facing the youth here in this county?
So it's the same thing as facing nationwide, right? The ability of gangs or guns or violence. So at what stage do we also try to address those things individually? And if we can reach one child to make a difference, if we can go into schools, partner with the teachers, partner with the communities, we partner with churches all over to say, if you need help, call our community engagement unit. If you need help, stop an officer. If you need help, we're available. So make sure that they know in Cobb County we have a Citizens Sheriff's Academy where we come and educate the public, come behind the scenes. We have one coming up at the end of August, and they get to see behind the scene all the resources the Sheriff's Office have in order to provide help for the community to keep us safe.
I know one of the other initiatives for the Sheriff's Cup is anti-bullying, but so much of that now is done online. How do you help to accommodate for that?
Absolutely. So we have also a fraud unit, and we also combine with a specialized task force to look at the things that are online and education. We have pamphlets to provide for education, and we ourselves will come out to anyone who wants any type of training for their youth or their student or their individual child.
For those that are watching at home, where can they find out more about this?
Come to our website, Cobb County Sheriff's Office. Come out here, for sure, come out here to McEachern High School and finish out this team playing, but definitely reach out to Cobb County Sheriff's Office.
And I know that y'all can't see it, but I have to give a shout out. Miss Hawkins every year has the best eyeshadow that I have seen in a really long time, and it deserves a shout out in itself.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Thank you so much for joining us and for putting on this amazing event.
Thank you for coming and showing this display.
With that, it is time for some more football, so we'll be right back after this.
All right, Kaylee Mansell, great job down there as always. Brandon Adams, Rusty Mansell back here at the press box at Cantrell Stadium, McEachern High School. Of course, we've got more football coming up in a moment between C.T. Martin and Mill Creek. But prior to that, let's go back and look at the game's key defensive stop from our previous matchup, Mill Creek and McEachern, to start off the morning. And how about this? The interception by A.J. Coates, which almost had a chance to be a pick-six return for a touchdown. The penalty prevented that from happening. But impressive for Coates jumping in front of that football.
Kind of reminds me of a young Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball, long ball skills. See him jump the route there, and good job by McEachern, especially in that first game defensively. They were outstanding.
And, of course, that brought to you by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department. Gwinnett County Sheriffs, Cobb County Sheriffs, the Fulton County Sheriff's Department all kind of teaming up for this tremendous community outreach event, which is obviously our Sheriff's Cup here. And, of course, we saw earlier McEachern get the win in the first of the round-robin matchups against Mill Creek, and now Mill Creek will stay out. And it'll be our first chance now to see C.T. Martin, which is actually going to begin with the football here. C.T. Martin, not a school-affiliated team, kind of representing the South Fulton area. And our first look at them coming up here, and Rusty, it'll be interesting to see as we get going back to football after Mill Creek has already played, 20 minutes of game action, what kind of fatigue they perhaps show here.
Yeah, and what kind of adjustments they've made after they've seen their guys kind of in some live action. Going to see it more traditional here under center.
Yeah, almost like an I formation look. Quarterback is Zion Freeman, and Freeman trying to throw here on first down. It's almost caught, but a nice job to break that up by Jace Woodall, a name we've called all day long for Mill Creek. Gets the pass break up there, preventing the catch by Douglas Daniel.
Man, he had him. If he throws it a little bit earlier, had some pressure, was unable to step into it. But they go play action bootleg under the center. Old school there. It's hard to believe from the I formation. You're correct.
You see Woodall there, who's been doing nice things for the Hawks all day long.
This is double tight formation, wishbone almost.
Yeah, that's right. Freeman under center, going to give the handoff.
Straight power.
Up to the 38-yard line is Jacoby back for C.T. Martin.
Interesting.
Take a look at that again. A couple of interesting formation looks here. Two kind of power looks, kind of the I formation and sort of a modified wishbone there for Martin on second down. That'll move the chains. We'll see. Actually, not going to be just short. Bring up third down. Let me correct myself. Now it's lone back in the backfield. So 3 different looks on 3 different snaps. Handoff right at the down to make that time.
You see this, so they haven't had a wide receiver yet. They've been too tight. They've been double wing right there, and they're running downhill right at Mill Creek. So let's see if they adjust here.
Logan Pierce made the tackle that time. Beck's the one who converts the first. And C.T. Martin, its first football of the day, has a first down on its third offensive snap. Handoff again, up to the 45-yard line that time.
Not what I was anticipating, to be honest with you. I wouldn't think of the old running game here.
Tavius Bradley on the carry that time. Good size on him. Of course, Martin is the Vikings. You see Vikings on the back of the jerseys, kind of where the nameplate would typically be. Now it's that wishbone look here again.
It's definitely wishbone.
Which, by the way, with a lot of folks playing the new EA Sports College Football video game, a lot of people have always kind of liked that option style in that game. You see Vic trying to make a tackle, but instead it's going to be back shaking free there, getting across midfield.
He just refused to go down. He got hit 2 or 3 times, and he's able to move the chains. Watch how many tackles he breaks. Runs through 1 arm tackle, 2. Vic didn't finish him off. He kind of shoves him. Good job there.
That free hand may have gotten a little extracurricular with the,
well, early in the year.
Let's not nitpick.
Yeah. Early in the year there. Tell you what, the clock's going to run quick here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They're going to go double wing to the top.
I like the fact that C.T. Martin has what appears to be a Fulton County Sheriff's logo, like the badge on the chest there. I kind of like that.
Yes.
How about the cut back there from Beck? And he's going to find some room here. Still on his feet. Now finally going to go down around the 32-yard line. But Jacoby Beck cut back hard right and found plenty of green grass as he did. May have a man down.
Got officials timeout on the outside of the field. Got a player down over on the 40. Man, Beck runs through arm tackles.
It's one of the, all right, so with the injury situation, we'll take a quick timeout here. C.T. Martin's offensive possession will continue when we return. We're back here live. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel, our Sheriff's Cup from Walter Cantrell Stadium, McEachern High School. It's C.T. Martin and Mill Creek in the second of 3 round-robin matchups to determine who will play in our finals later on today here on the Peachtree Sports Network. We've also had a stoppage of play for the last few minutes. A Mill Creek player was injured, but it looks like he's going to get up and come back. I believe that's Elon Bell, who appears to be easily walking off the field, which is a nice thing to be able to see. Obviously, the coaching staff going to take full precaution there on that. They checked him for a while, make sure everything was good, and now Bell will be able to get up and walk off, and so you're certainly happy about that. And, of course, when you think about, professionalism of coaching staffs, things like that, I'd put Mill Creek up there with anybody in the country, and that obviously
no doubt
goes all the way down into their youth feeder leagues there as well. So good job by that coaching staff to make sure they were taking good care of their guy, and it appears that Bell is okay.
See Coach Lovelady there. Great program. Huge state championship for that school. That was the last thing. They had to check a box as a program, and that's the goal every year, but they got one with that group 2 years ago.
Quarterback going to throw. It's going to be open. It's going to be caught for a touchdown, Christopher Henderson. So after an offensive possession that was running play at a multiple formation, setting up the big pass play, and Henderson hauls it in.
And he takes a shot when he let it go.
Yeah, Zion Freeman got really blasted that time. Let's make sure he's okay.
Throw was absolutely on the money.
So nothing dirty about the hit to Freeman.
No.
Just physical football.
Just football, yep.
And by the way, good job for him, perhaps knowing that hit was coming and still hanging in there and making the throw.
Steps into it. I believe he's going to be all right. One of those probably got the breath knocked out of you, but I tell you, man, with this double tight formation, that's the type of thing you're going to see the bootleg and the backside kind of drag backside post. And both times they've ran that, they have caught Mill Creek looking into the backfield and their guys getting behind their deepest defenders. So they're giving you, as McEachern went spread shotgun, this team's double tight formation, run, and then pop twice now with good pass plays, chunk plays.
So Freeman is getting up and now going to walk off here. So it appears that he's probably okay too. We certainly wish him well on that. But you don't get more old school football than set it up with the run,
This is my bread and butter.
Yeah,
I've been waiting my whole life to call a game like this.
Then unlocking the big pass play after that, and that's going to give C.T. Martin a 6-0 lead. And of course, representing Fulton County and the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, I know the Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt happy about that touchdown. And as we saw with all of McEachern's scores in our first matchup today, C.T. Martin also going to go for the two-point conversion here, too. New quarterback in the game for Freeman. It appears to be Douglas Gay. And the handoff going to be a little short, so the two-point conversion try doesn't go that time.
Seeing that sideline, Brennan was here, I believe. Cedar Grove played McEachern probably 5-6 years ago. Late in the game, Cedar Grove had a coach, basically had a heart attack on the sideline. And I watched two trainers revive him on the sidelines. You talk about shout out to all the trainers.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Everybody in the state of Georgia, because you never think you're going to have that moment.
That's right.
And they saved that gentleman's life that night in the fourth quarter on that sideline.
Yeah, I tell you, the people that work hard to make these, sidelines as safe as they can be, great people. As you see the Zion Freeman to Christopher Henderson pass there one more time. We're lucky in Georgia to have, just the level of professionalism that exists from the athletic training staffs. The medical folks are on hand. The coaching staff's there too. We take football seriously around here, and obviously that is demonstrated in everything, including the quality of individual. Oftentimes that's devoting their lives to all of this.
Amount of training into those individuals.
It's going to be Strickland again at quarterback. That's Blaine Strickland, wearing number 44. He has been mostly the Mill Creek quarterback today. They have rotated a little bit there. Princeton Moore, we've seen him in at times. But it's been mostly Strickland there thus far today. And what we haven't really seen yet is the big
chunk
play offensive from Mill Creek yet. Now, you sort of think they've got it in them. We just haven't seen it.
Yep. Again, this is early. They've been practicing for a couple of weeks.
Strickland going to run the sweep play on the left side. He's going to get the handoff. Looking for a block there at the 30-yard line. Not quite getting it. It's Jace Woodall. He has been the playmaker they've called on along with Marion Vick. But that time, C.T. Martin was all over the place.
Jacoby Beck, man, playing running back, safety. Look at him come down. He'll make this tackle.
Yeah. Just sheer strength.
You kind of see who their dude is. early on for C.T. Martin.
Yeah, he got his strong hands on that jersey, and he was not going to let go. You see a nice look there at the Fulton County Sheriff's insignia right there on the chest. That's kind of a nice thing.
Sweet. That's pretty sweet. From our understanding, we could be wrong. From our understanding, most of these young men will attend Langston Hughes and Creekside.
Yeah.
It's kind of the feeder programs for those schools, and you can see why those two teams are always in it.
That's exactly right. Here is Strickland looking to throw. Middle of the field, and it's intercepted. There to bring it in is Amani Hardy, although there may be a flag down.
Got a flag. I'm not sure if it's holding.
If it stands, it's an interception by Hardy. The second turnover of the day for Mill Creek in the second of its round-robin matchups. To remind you of the format, if you're just joining us, it's 2 10-minute periods, we'll call them, and then the second two teams will play two 10-minute periods, and then you've got a third matchup to come after that. So Mill Creek's been on the field for the entirety of this, and I believe it's going to be a personal foul against C.T. Martin that's going to negate the interception. It's going to give a first down to Mill Creek here. So perhaps the break they need.
Roughing the passer?
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. You said this before the game, and you've proven to be true that, I mean, when you and I were 12 years old, I don't think I ever saw a pass from a youth league game, and both these teams have been, all three of the teams we've seen thus far today have all been pretty comfortable throwing the ball when they've needed to.
This is our third year doing this, and I just remember thinking, what are we going to walk into? What are we going to see? And I have no concerns on the product anymore.
Princeton Moore back in at quarterback again. Martin very active in the backfield. There to bring him down that time was Preston Hall.
Even last year when we did a 7th grade Georgia Elite Classic game, the installation in 2.5 days, and the product we saw on the field, I was like, this is crazy how much these kids are able to absorb.
And I credit some of that with obviously the coaching staffs for these teams, but if you're a pass catcher or a quarterback or, you're working with your own personal coach a lot of times too.
Yes.
Because we have such a, this is sort of a football crazy state, a lot of the personal coaches who are working with even very young players, the average player is just more polished than he would have been 15, 20 years ago, I believe.
One of my best friends lives over in Charleston. He came over, spent a little time with his son during the summer. He could not understand.
Active in the backfield again is Martin, but the handoff instead,
fumbled it.
It's going to go to Jordan Gomez, and Gomez may not have held on to that football.
Man.
Yeah, it's going to be a turnover. Now, this will end up being the second turnover of the day for Mill Creek. That's going to give C.T. Martin the football back. They tried to run that little inside handoff, which they've favored some today, but unfortunately not able to hold on to the football that time. And really a good job defensively to come in there and strip that thing out.
Great job there.
I didn't see the number of the Martin players.
Look there too.
But that's teach tape in terms of wrapping up around that football and just pulling it right out. C.T. Martin going to run a player in late here. Do a couple of other changes here. Already leading 6-0 with the football. It's 2 10-minute periods. Clock is being kept on the field right now too, so we'll keep you updated on that time.
No headsets on that sideline. Coaching old school.
That's the handoff again to Bat. Bat dancing there left side, shaking free. May have gotten a flag, but Beck's going to run down the sideline. He threw a fantastic stiff arm, but all of this going to be negated by what appears to be a holding penalty bringing this back. Jacoby Beck is a good football player.
Dude, he's that dude now. McEachern staff, their players are in the field house, but McEachern staff is watching this game, and I guarantee you they're like, we better know where number 1 is. Believe we're going to get a holding up top.
Also, some of these 7th graders, they show out too well. The varsity coach for their zone 4 may be asking for that player to be put on the sideline. The last thing you want to do is have somebody in your feeder program showcased on television.
No doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, Kareem Reed, the head coach from McEachern High School, is standing over there on the sidelines earlier. I put a tweet out. See some of the McEachern coaches, they're looking at number 1.
Of course, Kareem Reed, an interesting backstory, having spent some time at Florida on that staff before coming to McEachern. Of course, a history in Georgia high school football prior to that, but we've seen a little bit of an exodus of coaches in college to the NFL, kind of the higher end of the scale. But on the other side, we've seen a decent number of college coaches kind of go back into high school. Joey King was an on-field coach, and now he's back at Carrollton again.
Kareem Reed
leaving Florida. There is an example of some of that on the other end of
William Lee left Central Florida, came back into Gwinnett County. He was the director of recruiting down there. So it's one of those things you want to try out and test it, and then you see the calendar, and you're like, you know what? Maybe high school wasn't so bad.
Yeah, and it's not a secret that Georgia high school football coaches
are wide open up the middle of the field, and they could not get him.
Yeah, good job defensively that time by Mill Creek, but for corralling Freeman, who, by the way, we're happy to see back in the game after he took a pretty big shot a little earlier. But Mill Creek defensively keeping themselves in the football game with how they get after Freeman that time.
Man, if he could have set his feet, but good job there with the pressure. Jeremiah Rodriguez, because if he's able to set his feet, he's got number 4 running right up the seam, wide open.
When do you typically see that develop in a quarterback, that ability to kind of get planted, make the quick decision? I mean, obviously the game moves really fast when you're just learning to throw the football. Is that the kind of thing?
For these kids, it's timing.
Yeah.
It's in them because they run a lot, but it's so early in the year. That play there particularly, you start talking about October, that's probably 6. It's getting your head around play action. Good job. Great tackle there by number 1. Beat him in the hole, Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson did not shy away from contact that time. So the scoreboard hasn't worked out to Mill Creek's favor thus far today, but they're playing just as hard as ever. And obviously you see a lot to like about them from a football standpoint, including Jackson stepping right in the way of that ball carrier, Ryan Bonner.
Picture perfect tackle there. Even though C.T. Martin runner, Bonner does a good job extending the play. When you're one-on-one and you're unblocked, your team needs you not only to make that tackle, but Brandon, he stepped up to meet him. When they look at tape, Coach Lovelady and those guys, they're going to love that. Luke Jackson, second time we've seen him do. They did on the goal line last time against McEachern.
Been impressed with what I've seen from C.T. Martin thus far today. This is probably the smallest roster of either of these 3 teams. Certainly a much smaller roster than what Mill Creek's playing with. Man, they've got some football IQ.
They're not trying to fool you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're double tight, double wing. We're coming right at you. Play action pass.
They will also call a timeout here ahead of a 3rd down play, leading 6-0, but looking for more. If you're playing the game here of tiebreakers and making the finals, remember, we'll see C.T. Martin stay on the field and take on McEachern in the 3rd of our 3 round-robin contests here coming up. McEachern did get the win 14-0 over Mill Creek in the first of those matchups. So if you're Martin here, you want more points to
create separation there.
Create that separation if you can do that. Or at the very least, you want to keep Mill Creek off the board the rest of the day there as well, because that's what the real tiebreaker is, the points allowed.
I called Coach Lovelady last year after they lost to Camden County, and I was asking him about Elias Williams, who's now a Georgia commit, but I asked him particularly in facing the wing T, and he said, Rusty, they go double tight with Elias Williams, and they had another kid. He said it was very physical. He goes, Rusty, our kids, we tried to prep them. But when you have a team that can really run the wing T, and then they got 2 6'6" freaks out there that can block the edge, he goes, we couldn't stop it. And he goes, that was one of those things, like our kids do not see the wing T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're downhill, you play fakes, you don't know who's got the ball, you got to stay at home.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than trying to concentrate and see what's happening in the backfield and look over to see the quarterback running down the side.
Like, who had him? You start pointing fingers, but that's the thing that I appreciated from Coach Lovelady. I always reach out to him about teams he plays and kind of pick his brain on things. And
probably one of the best guys just to talk football with. Just a good guy, but also just fun to talk football with. Somebody who loves the sport.
Great family, great daughter. His daughter she is absolutely a rock star at Mill Creek High School. He keeps her involved in the program. Kids love her. I remember they took a state championship picture, and she is literally sitting right in the middle of that team.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, Jeff Herron obviously retires from Camden County. It's going to be a new look, for Camden this year, correct? And
yes.
You see a passing play there, and it's caught.
Man.
Jamar Cudger is going to go easily into the end zone for a touchdown. And C.T. Martin's looking good right now.
And he just throws it up. Mill Creek coaches are just literally with their hands on their head because they had 2 defenders there. He just goes up and makes a play. They run a scissor route. See this top of the screen there, goes on a wheel round the backside. 2 guys there, and he makes a perfect throw against that coverage.
Scoring summary, of course, brought to you by the Cobb County
Look at him
Sheriff's
track that
Department.
ball.
You talk about like jab, right hook. That's what this offense is for C.T. Martin. It's
exactly.
running play, bam.
Yep.
Big explosive passing play.
I tell you, man, unless something changes here, or you start anticipating a McEachern and C.T. Martin matchup, that's going to be
That's going to be fun. You got really
some
good
guys out on
athletes.
the edge there. Both teams.
Really good athletes on both sides. Of course, last year
Too tight to Wishbone, man.
For the 2-point conversion, did not get the try last time. Going to have to struggle this time. Freeman, though, nice move to buy himself some time. Still on his feet, dancing 5-yard line. He's going to go out of bounds, though, and the 2-point conversion will fail. Good job, Mill Creek, defensively to prevent that.
They only have 10 guys on the field, by the way. C.T. Martin, 2 plays in a row. I was like, am I counting this right? So they go Wishbone with 1 tight end, and I'm thinking, where's the backside tight end? They only had 2 guys there, so they had 10 players on the field both times.
So even more impressive.
Yeah, Mill Creek's not going to like that.
Can I go back to something I said a moment ago? Because I was talking about, a new look for Camden County this year, maybe a little bit more of a passing-oriented offense, bringing a coaching staff from Florida. I also think there's a chance that for the audience who's watching us right now that are Georgia fans, I think Elias Williams is maybe the least talked about sort of 5. I don't think that his status as a prospect has been fully appreciated yet. When you think about kind of that sort of new definition of a tight end, what a guy like that can be, it just seems like to me he's about to really explode in a big way and probably get a different level of appreciation than he's already got.
I gave this comparison, and a couple of people text me like, Rusty, that's not you. To me, this is A.J. Green and Darnell Washington's body.
It seems like it could be that way.
I'm telling you, this guy is such – now, he doesn't weigh 280 what Darnell played at leaving Georgia. But, Brandon, we've been doing this a long time, and on my side of it for 15 years covering this state, I've never covered a 6'7", 240-pound, basically wide receiver. That you listen to Josh Lovelady and say, that kid is so physical on the edge, so he can block on the edge. And
Strickland back in at quarterback.
The one
Martin
thing in our
all
world.
over that play, by the way, nice tackle by Martin to get that done. Number 30 makes the tackle. We don't have him on our roster, but impressive play, though, for a C.T. Martin team that's really shown a lot of athleticism on both sides of the ball right now.
The one thing in our world is he committed early. He didn't take any visits. And he's kind of tucked away in Kingsland, Georgia.
That's right.
So you don't get all that buzz. Like if Elias Williams started taking visits, it would cause a stir.
And there was definitely some, I know, chatter on your board, things like that. Obviously, for all of us, at one point in time, about with the Florida States, with the Miami's getting involved in that recruitment.
Miami definitely tried.
Yeah, and I guess a credit to Georgia, the fact they were kind of quiet that down and prevent that from happening. When he announced that he was shutting down his recruitment, that's probably as big a win as Georgia's gotten here in the spring and summer months.
No doubt.
You see the handoff going to Vig.
We do a thing called the On 3 Elite Series, where we bring up the top 40 players in the country to Nashville for 2 days. It's a great event we do. And Elias Williams was certainly invited. Elias Williams did not come because he was taking classes to go so he can enroll at Georgia in December. And when you start talking about guys like that and who he is, but I'm telling you this, he is an absolute specimen that is committed to Georgia, and I haven't covered one like that one at that position.
All right, so we're going to come to a conclusion in the first of these 2 periods between C.T. Martin and Mill Creek, with C.T. Martin looking good right now. So quick timeout, and then we return. It's 10 more minutes of football with C.T. Martin up 12 here right now. Great to have you with us, folks.
Why would you buy life insurance from anyone else when Senior Life gives you all your money back? It's simple. When other companies say they save you a percentage of your money, Senior Life says we give it all back. That's right. With return of premium life insurance from Senior Life, we don't save you a percentage of your money, we give it all back, 100%. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. While others may talk about saving you money, Senior Life is the only one giving it all back. Return of premium term life insurance gives you protection if you need it and 100% cash back if you don't. Get all your money back with Return of Premium Life Insurance from Senior Life. Call the number on your screen now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
Okay, going back to one.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are two very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in it in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
The Smart Local 85 Sheriff's Cup Invitational is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office. One team, one fight, one community. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Service. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. Teamsters Local 728. We fight for hard-working families. And Sports Turf. You bring the vision. We'll bring it to life.
Welcome back, everybody. Sheriff's Cup action. Walter Cantrell Stadium, McEachern High School. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel, Kaylee Manziel, manning our host position and doing a great job with that. We'll get a chance to see her back again.
Got a new setup down there. You know she sucked up to Randy all last year. Now my man shows up with an AC booth for her.
I tell you, we talked about being a rock band a little earlier. I mean, that's her tour bus. Right
No doubt, man.
She's like the Madden Cruiser. that college game day bus you always see driving around.
Yeah, man.
That's Kaylee Manziel gets her own version of that. So it's C.T. Martin leading right now, 12-0. They've got 2 touchdowns. Almost the sum total entirely of the offense for C.T. Martin has been on the ground. The 2 passing plays, though, have both gone for touchdowns. They've come up just a little bit short on a couple of 2-point conversions, and that's where we are now. Mill Creek trying to find its first offensive success. They will have the football now because these 2 periods are treated sort of like halves, in that after seeing Martin begin the game with the football, now the second period will begin with Mill Creek with the football. Pressure coming, and down goes the quarterback, Princeton Moore. They've kind of alternated between Moore and Blaine Strickland today, but right now it's Martin just getting active in the backfield, and that was Jacoby Beck, who's done a little bit of everything here today.
Just kind of been unable to figure out what they want to do when they go back offensive. This is what they'll look. What can we do to get yardage right now? Haven't been really able to establish a run on pass plays. They haven't been able to protect. A couple of plays they've been open, had an unfortunate interception on the first game. So Mill Creek still trying to figure things out offensively.
Yes, second down. Operating on a deliberate pace here offensively. We're at 9 minutes to go in this period. You see that
Good job,
keeper that time by Moore, and once again you got Martin just flying at the football.
Yeah, C.T. Martin running to the football. They had numbers. They checked, go to the sidelines. They checked the call. You see the backside pursuit gets there.
Who else but Jacoby Beck? Of course, we're about to begin an incredible journey here with our Corky Cale Dave Hunter Classic in a couple of weekends, and then a run through the drive for the GHSA state title after that. How excited are you about this year's Corky Cale Dave Hunter Classic, Rusty?
It never fails. You just kind of think, here it is. We got a huge luncheon on Monday in Atlanta, got a huge luncheon on Tuesday, and it's just really good to kind of get that vibe and go, you know what, for you and I both, we're such routine people.
Mm-hmm.
That means routine.
It does.
Every week we know we got going on. We got high school football on Friday night. We got college football. We know our path. We know what we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
That's
Thursday.
right.
And just we're guys of real. Coach Lovelady, look at that look.
Coaching just as hard right now
He's
as he would
coaching
on a
just as
Friday
hard.
night.
Ain't no doubt, man. No doubt.
I think one of the themes for this year's event, too, is you see Mill Creek forced to punt here, and that's going to be a dead ball situation as it's going to be caught at the 50-yard line. You know, a little bit of a new look for a lot of the teams involved. You know, there's no more Bryce Clavon for Kell, for instance.
Yep.
You know, you think about Prince Avenue, no Aaron Philo. After Philo took over for Brock Vandergriff, a completely different situation for them at quarterback.
Yep.
How many games did Reese Fountain play for Rome?
Seemed like a million, right?
They're going to be debuting a little bit of a new look there, too.
Yep.
You know, Walton, a completely different team in many respects. From what they've been with Heklinski no longer there, and a lot of those other seniors now no longer, you know, they're a part of that team. There's just going to be a little bit of a different feel, still very competitive, of course, for some of these teams, but a very different feel for a lot of those programs I just mentioned who have been kind of fixtures in this Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic now for the last few years. They'll look different to a lot of our audience who's used to tuning in and seeing them look a certain way.
Yeah, you look at all these quarterbacks, especially in that 2024 class. They were experienced. They trotted out these guys. These coaches weren't worried about it. But you start talking about a new quarterback, and, oh, by the way, you're playing on TV the first game. So it's going to be interesting. And, you know, to me it's crazy that the highest classification, Milton, goes down, defending state champions. They go down to 5A. So that's interesting, too. They return a ton of talent.
Yeah, I would say that as you see the handoff play there for C.T. Martin, Curtavious Bradley on the carry, I would say to me one of the biggest storylines just kind of floats in my head before the start of the season is the depth that exists in 5A. I don't mean that to disrespect 6A, but you've got
Thomas County Central.
3 reigning state champions in the 5A classification. We were talking before the show began that you got that one region that includes a Gainesville, a Roswell, and a Milton. You know, Milton brings back like 18 starters. And by the way, they also have, you know, a nice acquisition coming over too with the impressive tight end Ethan Barbour. That, you know, this is a team that's on paper arguably even better than its state championship team from a year ago, and now they're dropping down a classification. 5A to me is just as deep as 6A is.
No doubt. See C.T. Martin going shotgun this time.
Zion Freeman is that guy at the quarterback spot. Flag comes in.
Formation, illegal formation there. Didn't have enough guys up on the line of scrimmage. He tried to move, and when he moved, created the penalty. That's why they don't go in shotgun.
It's 6:40 to go in this period. We're looking at a scenario where when we're done here, it's going to be C.T. Martin and McEachern. And for all intents and purposes, those will be also the two teams that will have clinched their way into the championship too. So
it's going to get a lot of look at each other on tape here.
And, you know, just in interest of the format, but it's almost like the first matchup between the two will be strictly sort of a feeling out period because the championship will be decided by what they do in the second 2 periods against each other. We'll see how these coaching staffs kind of handle that. You see Freeman.
Great block.
Setting up the sweet play for Beck on the left side. Mill Creek all over that. They're going to bring him down to the backfield. Tate Lovelady, the coach's son, one of the head coach of the varsity and one of the assistants here today, Lovelady there to make that stop.
Yep. Got to continue to pursue against Beck because he will definitely run through arm tackles. He just comes back and too many defenders there, and he gets met in a hole by Tate Lovelady, number 22.
Ball going to sit at the 44-yard line after that play. As we said before, it hadn't quite gone Mill Creek's way today, but you see on the pursuit on that play, they haven't slowed down their effort, not one bit. Freeman surveying the scene, pointing some things out.
Shotgun again. They don't have, I don't know if they got enough guys on the line of scrimmage, but they can call it.
Freeman takes the snap, now going to run. Chase coming. He's at midfield, and he's going to go down there, getting back to the original line of scrimmage, making up for the lost yardage on the previous play. Once again, Princeton Moore and the rest of that Mill Creek defense doing what they can to limit Martin. Vic was also the first guy to get hands on him. That'll bring up second down. Excuse me. Now, fourth down, excuse me. So with the ball resting at midfield, decision time here coming up for Martin. And they might try to roll the dice here. Freeman back under center, straight ahead handoff. And that's going to be short of the first down and going to turn the ball back over to Mill Creek.
If Mill Creek had any chance, had to make a stop there with about 4:05 left in this period. See, Mill Creek kids been on the field for a while.
Yeah, they, in some respects, drew the short straw of having to be the team on the field. It was going to be somebody, just happened to be them, back to back to begin this. And, you know, Martin will find themselves in that situation coming up. I guess for McEachern, they had the most beneficial draw because their two round-robin matchups were more spaced out, although it'll eventually be McEachern as they move on to the championship, will be on the field for a couple of consecutive sessions too. You see that McEachern coaching staff there trying to
Kareem Reed there in the white
stay out of the sun.
Oh, blue shirt, excuse me.
Much as they can.
Did a good job at Westlake. Did a really good job at Griffin. Went down to went to Central Florida first.
That's right.
Then to University of Florida. And I was very interested when this McEachern job came open. I knew it would attract a lot of people, and it did.
By the way, I want to thank our friends at IBEW for making all this possible here today. You can empower your future with IBEW, Local 613. Good pay, job security, and a bright career path in the electrical trade. Man, we're so happy to have them with us for what we're doing here today. By the way, speaking of Westlake, nice moment for Georgia fans last night with Juan Gaston, the terrific offensive tackle prospect out of Westlake, making that decision for the Georgia Bulldogs last night.
You talking about someone that didn't talk, didn't say much. 6'7.5", 360 pounds.
And he looks every bit of it.
Oh, yeah. He is a massive, massive player. He has started every game since he was a freshman. Dad, former basketball player at Georgia Tech in the mid-'90s.
That's right. And I tell you, Georgia does a lot of things well, obviously, in this national championship era. But the way in which it repopulates its offensive line depth every single year, it may be the aspect of the program that's the most, consistently stellar.
Inside linebacker and offensive line. Those two rooms. It's been great. They've had a great run in state. I had a chance to catch some of the Ohio State game on TV the other night, and you look at Broderick Jones and Amarius Mims playing tackles, and now you got guys, those are homegrown, and you look at guys like Mason Short out of Evans High School in Augusta, and now Juan Gaston verbally committed, Tate Ratledge from Darlington.
And I think when we first started, really focusing on the 2025 class, and this is not just true for Georgia, it's true for anybody who'd want to recruit in Georgia, Georgia Tech included, that this was an incredibly deep year for lines of scrimmage in Georgia. I would say the defensive linemen like Justice Terry and Elijah Griffin, these are Isaiah Gibson. This was just an incredibly deep year on both sides of the ball in Georgia.
Crazy years. Wide receiver as well. Travis Smith, C.J. Wiley. Then you have a kid like Landon Rowland pop up at North Oconee.
It's fun when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
When a guy like that truly emerges.
Dude, I had him the last weekend of April at a camp at Kennesaw Mountain, and he ran 4.4, and I said, wait a minute, who is that? Let's make him run again. So I put 3 clocks over there, and he runs 4.4 again. And I was like, wait a minute, now what's going on here? And literally 4 or 5 days later, started getting offers.
I love to see that happen.
Crazy.
You see the pass play, but it's going to end up being an interception by Beck, and this is a guy who's found the stat sheet a whole bunch of ways today, and now it's going to be a pick six. Return for a touchdown, and it is all C.T. Martin right now, and Jacoby Beck has put his stamp on this game.
Yep, just jumps right in front of that little slant.
We'll make that our game's key defensive stop, brought to you by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Of course, They're not happy about what's happening to Mill Creek, but certainly impressed by the performance from the Vikings. Back with some high fives there at the end on that.
Yeah, we're about to see some good matchups here. This is about to be a very athletic matchup with C.T. Martin and McEachern, and we're going to get to see a good bit of them.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. 2:22 remaining in the second of two periods of the round robin between C.T. Martin representing Fulton County, Mill Creek representing Gwinnett County. Of course, McEachern, who we'll see again in a moment, they represent Cobb County. The first time ever in Sheriff's Cup history that a non-Gwinnett school has acted as the host team. Cobb County getting that honor here for this season. Kind of a wishbone look here for Martin once again as they try to convert their two-point conversion. The one thing that has not gone well today, and they'll come up a little short again after the handoff to Curtis Sales is stopped. We'll see our scoring summary here once again. That'll give us a chance to get another look at that touchdown there. As you see, back stepping in front of it, and the Cobb County Sheriff's Department brings it to you. Another score. Return 56 yards for Jacoby Beck.
Jacoby Beck. You just look at him and you go, you know what? In 3 years from now, you're going to know that name.
You will.
You're going to know Jacoby Beck.
Certainly expect to. You see the Mill Creek staff continuing to do their work.
Yep. He's coaching them up.
Still coaching, still explaining, still teaching, and, you know, it's the oldest adage of the book, but sometimes in moments in which it doesn't go well for you, you learn as much from that as anything else. In fact, perhaps provides even more opportunity to teach. And, you know, these football coaches who are, you know, so into these kids and so into the sport, they're going to take every moment to do that. As you see a beautiful look there at one of the great facilities in Georgia High School football, Walter Cantrell Stadium, where we're located here today.
Unbelievable facility. Turf practice field, turf track field, turf baseball field, turf softball field. Just turf.
Mill Creek going to call a timeout before going back on offense again. They want to make sure they've got their situation figured out. And what you'd like to see, and it's going to probably not change the outcome today, but, you know, they've tried to dial up the big play and have not quite been able to find it. You'd like for them to be able to connect on something so they can take that into wherever they go next. In the GFL, you know, one of the best youth football leagues in America, you know, if they could find that offensive success before this day ends, it just becomes something to build on for the remainder of their season.
Yeah, and one thing, too, after you have a weekend like this, it'll be a lot easier to have their focus on Monday at practice. Guys, this is what happened. Okay, let's show you guys kind of this is what happened. This is what we saw positive, but this is what we have to fix. And I think offensively, they got to find a way to find some explosive plays. I think you mentioned that earlier. Guys out on the edge and kind of what they're going to do. But great coaching staff, great. I guarantee you, great support system around that program, and there'll be a different football team come October when it's probably playoff time for this group.
So Mill Creek going to go back on offense here. Going to be a straight-ahead handoff to Marion Vick. And that's the one that, obviously Vick's got the size and the strength, but that's the one that Martin and McEachern before that have just been sort of ready for. Did that football come loose? It did. So Martin's going to get another turnover. Just active at the line of scrimmage, wrapping up the football and getting the turnover. While we have a chance here, let's also show you the player of the game here, and you'll see it here. How about the moment just a little earlier as Freeman cranks it up and throws it, and there to bring that home is Jameer Cudger, I should say. That's the play of the game presented by Teamsters Local 728. An incredible play by Cudger hauling that in. And we'll also give a shout-out here to our player of the game there as well. Impressive performance all day long today by an incredible collection of C.T. Martin players. Obviously, Jacoby Beck's been all over the place all day long today. He's done a great job, and just a tremendous couple of periods of football here as you see Jameer Cudger there, who had that catch and had that touchdown. Impressive stuff here for a CT Martin team on its way to victory. New quarterback, by the way, into the game, and he steps in and makes a completion. That's Douglas Gay, who throws a strike. Saw him at quarterback briefly after the Freeman injury earlier, but first chance to see him throw the football, and Gay threw a nice ball that time.
Yeah, we're about to see a really good athletic matchup here with McEachern and CT Martin, especially out on the edge.
Yeah, so to give you an idea what it's going to look like here, we're 90 seconds remaining in this period. We'll take another, what it kind of amounts to like a halftime break.
Yep.
Get a chance to hear from Kaylee Manziel again. And then we'll come back and see McEachern and CT Martin play the final of our round-robin matchups, which will almost sort of serve as the feeling out process for what will be a championship between those two teams after that. Gay staying in at quarterback, still throwing. Fight for the football, and that's an interception. The highlight moment that McEachern, I should say that Mill Creek was hoping for. Everett Bish gets the interception and still on his feet and running. Gets a block. On his feet down the sideline. Bish looking for another block. Now cuts back to the left side. He gets the football slapped away, but one of his teammates there to fall on it. So for Mill Creek, who's been hoping for something good, you finally got that. Jace Woodall there to kind of fall on the loose football after the Everett Bish interception. So we were hoping that Mill Creek would have a positive moment here before the time ran out on them, and Bish does provide that by way of that interception, battling Christopher Henderson for that ball and coming away with it.
Just kept breaking tackles. I think he was like, hey, can somebody tackle me here? I don't want to go 100.
That's a long run on a hot day.
Strip there by number 8.
Yeah, that was Douglas Gay, the quarterback.
Comes back in, but you're right. Mill Creek needed, in this day, something positive. Got 42 seconds to go. Let's see if they take a shot here at the end zone from their own 33.
It's Strickland back in at quarterback. They've rotated with him. Going to have a couple of receivers here on the right side. One off by himself there on the left. Pretty bunch formation. Only one player outside the numbers. And it's going to be a pass caught by Lovelady. That's 27. Pickup of about 7. Clock, though, a factor for a Mill Creek team that would like to finish with some points. Under 30 seconds. This the sort of playing for pride portion of the game. But that still counts too.
That's right. Getting work, getting reps.
Strickland going to throw again into coverage. Lovelady was there again. Had a chance to bring that home. Not quite able to connect though. Now you're sitting at 11 seconds.
Like to play. Take a shot into triple coverage. He
almost come up with
that.
Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel. Kaylee Manziel, we'll hear from her again in a moment. It was a nice throw by Strickland that time.
Yep.
One back stands behind Strickland here on what might prove to be the game's final play. Strickland going to be brought down. Michael Figures will get a sack, and that will bring this period to a close. And it was an impressive couple stanzas for CT Martin, who get the win here and now set themselves up to battle McEachern that looked very good to begin our morning there, too. So we got some good football left to come. We'll also hear from Kaylee Manziel, too. But a quick commercial timeout before we get there. Thanks for being with us here today on the Peachtree Sports Network.
Okay, going back to 1.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are two very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
It takes passion, hustle, grit. And it only works if you do. It's the dream. And the only place to find it is on Peachtree TV, where your Atlanta dream takes on the basketball world, where the dream becomes a reality, where the dream is the other team's worst nightmare. Only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV.
Welcome back to the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. This is the Tailgate Show brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Sheriff Kevo Taylor of the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department. You've been with us for a while. I just listened to you sing to everyone. I mean, it's one of those things like, is there really anything you can't do? But this is the first year this event hasn't been hosted in Gwinnett. What's it like having it in Cobb County?
It's great. I mean, basically what we're doing is we're sharing the message. So, you know, you can't just keep your message capsulized in one area, because when these other sheriffs came on board, you know, they bought into what we're doing just as hard as I did. So this gives their parents an opportunity, their teams the opportunity to be the home host, and it's great for the program, and we're looking to see it expand even more after that.
You touched on it briefly. 3 counties represented here today: Gwinnett, Cobb, and Fulton. What has the collaboration between you 3 been like this past week leading up to this event?
Well, really not much difference, because the 3 of us, we're very good friends. Mm-hmm. You know, we all came in as sheriffs at the same time, went through sheriff school at the same time, caught COVID at the same time, survived at the same time. So basically what it is now is just we're looking at other ways just to continue to expand our message. And so, you know, anything that we do that corroborates, man, we're basically, our visions are somewhat the same.
And speaking on expanding the message, what's the message behind this event? What's the initiative you're trying to push?
Sure. The message is, the whole premises of what we do is anti-bullying and anti-gang. But what we're trying to do is do it in a whole nother different approach, to where we're not meeting them where these kids are already either in trouble, being bullied, or whatever. So basically what we're doing is showing the community that in law enforcement, these sheriffs, myself, we're concerned about the safety and welfare of our kids. So if it means that we meet these kids out here on the football field or somewhere else, you know, that they know that they have a partner with us, and that they're seeing us doing this outside of law enforcement.
And what sort of resources do you provide to help combat anti-gang, anti-bullying?
Sure. Well, first of all, let me say thank you to my sponsors, okay?
Go for it.
RJ, Kenny, all right, Randy. You know, these guys has been phenomenal. They took a concept and they just ran with it. They didn't walk with it, they ran with it to make it to what you see what this is today. So this event has grown each and every year. Now, what it does is resources is that as a sheriff, you get the chance and opportunity to put resources in areas that you couldn't do just as a normal either police chief or policing. So outside of law enforcement, we've been able to pull these resources in. And like I said, thank you to these sponsors, but we also have other sponsors out here that provide financial, you know, support. Our staff that has done a tremendous job putting this together, my command staff, my executive command staff, everybody that has taken this vision and just ran with it.
One thing, when I think about Gwinnett County, I think about the size of it. So many students, it covers a wide area. How are you able to reach out to so many kids when, I mean, again, it's humongous and gigantic. How are you able to accommodate for everyone?
Sure. We don't just make ourselves available for this football game. What we also do is we do a back-to-school bash, okay? And with the back-to-school bash, we give out school supplies, haircuts, health screening, other things, man. But once again, that's the involvement that we have from the sheriff's office and the sheriff's standpoint. You know, also too, you know, we have community outreaches that goes out into these communities, even outside of anything that is sporting events. But we try to reach out in any capacity that we can to make sure that folks know that the sheriff's office is there, okay, not just as enforcement, as I said before, but for our community involvement.
Sheriff Taylor, for those at home who want to know more or want to contribute, where can they find out more at?
I knew you would ask me a question I can't answer. Go on to the Hey, we're going to flash something up to make sure everybody has the information as to where, if they want to get involved, if they want, corporate sponsorships, we're always looking for them. We also have a food drive that we put on every November to where we deal with food insecurities also. So anybody that wants to come out, be a part of, anybody that's doing anything in a positive nature for these kids, we welcome you.
Well, Sheriff Taylor, this is one of my favorite events that we do, and I think one of the reasons that is because I get to see you this time every year. So I just want to thank you so much for being on and for doing everything that you do with the involvement in community.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we will be back with more after the break.
The Smart Local 85 Sheriff's Cup Invitational is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office. One team, one fight, one community. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Service. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. Teamsters Local 728. We fight for hard-working families. And Sports Turf. You bring the vision. We'll bring it to life.
And welcome back to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Sheriff Patrick Labatt of the Fulton County Sheriff's Department. Hey, you're the first representative from Fulton County here today. You got to set the precedent for everybody else that comes behind you.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is about fun, partnerships, and mentorships, and certainly thank you all for being here.
Of course. You mentioned partnerships. This is a collaboration event. You get to work with also Cobb County, Gwinnett County. What's that been like to have all three forces come together for something so much greater?
Well, we do that anyway. Right? It is a small family that has a huge impact. And so when we can do this at a level that really impacts our kids, impacts our schools, really right at the beginning of school, you can't ask for more.
I think what's so fascinating about this event in particular is that it highlights middle school kids. Why use this age group to push the initiative for what the Sheriff's Cup Invitational is all about?
Well, I'm a firm believer that the earlier we start, the better we are in terms of impacting our kids, what that looks like, and then really spreading that throughout our community. What better age group to start than right here in middle school?
So what sort of mentorship do you provide to the players out there, or how do you educate them on anti-bullying, anti-gang?
Well, first, it goes back to what you said originally, and that is the partnerships, creating an environment where they understand it doesn't matter if it's Gwinnett, Fulton, Cobb, even DeKalb, Henry, and counties around the metro. Ultimately, our focus is on really collaboration. And so when we talk about what we can do together, we can certainly do more together than we can do apart.
And one thing we're always interested in is your position that you hold is so unique. How did you get into this? Why are you passionate about it?
Well, I got into it some 36 years ago.
Wow.
It was a mistake.
You look 36 years old, so that's really surprising to me.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But ultimately, all that said and done, for me, it's about changing lives, having an impact. And so I spent a decade as the chief of the City of Atlanta Department of Corrections. This was this natural maturation. What's next? How do we have a larger impact? And the Sheriff's Office, there are 159 throughout the state of Georgia.
Wow.
And so what better way to get people to understand the impact the Sheriff's offices have and for us to be able to share?
One thing also to me, I just talked to Sheriff Kibo Taylor from Gwinnett about this, is when I think about Cobb, Fulton, Gwinnett, they're huge counties. There's so many students to reach out to. How do you cover so much ground in a county that has tons of students?
Well, again, it takes that level of collaboration, not just with the Sheriff's Office. So, for instance, Fulton County, which I proudly say is the largest county of the 159 counties. And so while we certainly come together with each other, we also come together with our school systems, right? The Atlanta Public Schools with the largest school systems in the metro areas between the three counties. So again, it is sharing the burden, but also sharing the opportunities.
Well, for those at home who want to find out more or ways that they can contribute, where can they locate it?
So the #1 sheriff's office in the country, Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Got to give the plug.
And you can find us at fcsoga.org.
Well, Mr. Labatt, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being a part of this event.
Thank you for
It's
having
one
us.
of our favorites. All right, now it's time to watch some football, so I'm going to hand it over to my friend, Brandon Adams.
Thank you so much, Kaylee, and appreciate you. And, of course, Patrick Labatt, the sheriff from Fulton County Sheriff's Department there as well. And, you know, it's so great to see, obviously, what we're presenting on TV is the football, and you're going to see a really good matchup here coming up between the McEachern Junior Indians and C.T. Martin, the Vikings, in a moment. But if you're around the stadium this year here at McEachern, last year at Collins Hill, Meadow Creek before that, one of the things you do, you know, see is the way in which the community outreach of these sheriff's departments interacts with the local communities here. You know, the message is anti-bullying, anti-gang, but it's also a chance for the folks who live in these communities to meet their sheriff, to meet their sheriff's deputies, to meet the folks who are keeping them safe on the roads and in the communities. And that unofficial part of the outreach, Rusty, I think becomes almost as valuable as anything.
Yeah, and everybody gets involved. You see the Gwinnett County Sheriff Mobile Command Center, see a big bus there. I saw a big Fulton County Sheriff's bus.
Yeah.
I know if we go back to that one shot here of the stadium, you're going to see over in the right corner, you're going to see some guys grilling down there. That's Omega Psi Phi fraternity. This is going to feed the players after the game today. So everyone is pitching in here on this event, and truly I can see this event growing. I had a text from a different county asking how we get in this.
Okay,
so
good.
that's what we want to see. We want to see these other counties encouraged to get there. I'm going to put out a challenge to our sheriff, Dave Robinson of Floyd County. I want to see a Rome team come there and play.
By the way, let's get an update on our weather here. It was obviously much cooler when we began the day at 10 a.m., getting warmer now. We're up to 82 degrees.
It's the
of course,
feel right now.
Yeah,
Turf.
This brought to you by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. You're going to get that little bit of reflection of the heat back off that turf. You know, very little in the way of a breeze. You know, incredibly sunny skies. Now, from where we're sitting, enclosed in the press box, it's a beautiful view.
Yep.
But obviously, down on the field, much warmer, I would say, than that 82 degrees probably says.
Yeah, we're going to have the 2 10-minute quarters here, 2 10-minute halves. So essentially, these two teams are going to play back to back.
All right, so we're going to get ready to begin the football game. Actually, let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back for more football right after this.
The Sheriff's Cup Invitational is presented by Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move.
Thank you very much, and of course, we appreciate our friends at Smart Local 85 for helping bring all this to us today, and the entire team at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, who are such great partners in our attempt to televise as much as we can of high school football all across the great state of Georgia. Walter Cantrell Stadium here on the campus of McEachern High School, one of the most beautiful venues in all the land. That is our home here today, and to get things started in this 2 10-minute period kind of conclusion of our round robin, but both these teams have already, you know, clinched their way into the finals. It'll be McEachern back on offense to start things, and another look at Xavier McQueen, a quarterback who had 3 rushing touchdowns the first time around for McEachern. It's going to be a handoff, though, on first down there for the Indians.
And you got to expect the Viking staff got a chance to watch McEachern. It's going to be a much more spread out shotgun offense. They want to create the numbers, so your front four has got to be able to stop the run right here, McEachern, and tackle in space against these athletic perimeter players.
Ezekiel Tucker gets the handoff again. I believe there's a flag down. Is there a flag? Maybe I was wrong about that. Yeah, maybe. Hey, yeah, there is a flag. Yeah, back in the backfield. Mm-hmm. It was 42 for C.T. Martin, who made the tackle. We do not have a 42 in our roster. We're sort of obviously going to be some shifting around of some jerseys and things like that. So we want to give as many shots out to the players as we possibly can. But we don't have everybody on our roster right now.
I believe C.T. Martin had 12 players on the field there.
You mentioned something a moment ago. Both these teams have seen each other because of the round-robin format. In a typical situation, you try to know as much about your opponent as you can. How much do you think these two teams knew about each other before the day began? As you see a pass play by McQueen.
Oh, my goodness.
And down the sideline, football came free. That might have been a touchdown if the football didn't slip out of the hands there of the receiver. So it's a completion It's Caden Harrison who had the completion, but it might have been a touchdown if the ball doesn't slip free.
Yeah, you start talking about tackling in space on these perimeter players because they have 2 or 3 guys in McEachern that can take it to the house. They go this trip set.
McQueen throwing again. That's a pass complete over here to Javaris Meeks. Now Meeks is going to go into the end zone for a touchdown, and McEachern begins this period against Martin just as explosive as it was to start our morning. And they are on the board, the Junior Indians.
Yeah, C.T. Martin's having problems getting lined up right now against this formation. And Meeks takes that quick screen basically to the house.
A lot of playmakers for
especially
McEachern
on the
right
edge.
now.
You got Cream Reed's got to be on the sidelines going, man, what grade are y'all in? Y'all want to play some Friday nights right now?
So McEachern did connect on a 2-point conversion earlier this morning. Going to try to do that against 3 receivers all on the left side.
Top of the screen, Meeks.
Except going to look back right side, and it's going to be a pass caught by Meeks, and McQueen connects with him. And what a start offensively for the McEachern Junior Indians, making this home crowd happy right now.
Same play they ran in the first game. They just flip-flopped the formation. They got Meeks away from the trip set, one-on-one backside. They just throw it up for him, saying our guy's going to out-athlete your guy, and that's the second time in a row he's done that.
So impressive there to begin things. As we were talking about earlier this morning, kind of a very modern look in the jersey for McEachern.
Someone texted me and said, does it say O-N on the, is it McEachern? Listen, on TV, people are texting me saying this is like it's an O. Maybe that's a different saying they have, but I couldn't tell from zooming in on it. Maybe if we get a closer look on this uniform.
Well, speaking of a closer look, we get a closer look here.
Great blocks on the perimeter.
Scoring summary brought to you by the Cobb County Sheriff's Department gives you a chance to see the incredible play by Javaris Meeks. And I tell you what you notice about McEachern, the guys who've made plays, it's length.
Yes.
I think McQueen's got some nice length to him. Meeks, who caught that, nice length. We saw that from Caden Harrison earlier. These are guys that got the long frame.
Starting their 7th grade. Mm-hmm. They're starting their 7th grade.
Now, when we saw C.T. Martin offensively, they had plenty of explosiveness too. They'll kind of show that wishbone look to begin things here. It'll be a handoff. Active in the backfield to bring down Amani Hardy are the Junior Indians. What Martin was content to do against Mill Creek was, you kind of described it almost like a jab, right hook thing. It's running play, set up the big passing play, the play action that results in the touchdown. We'll see if they can employ that same strategy against what might be a different level of athlete here for McEachern.
They are stacked the box right here.
Yeah, big fullback stands behind.
Oh, man, you cannot get behind the chains in this offense right here. Do not want to start with a negative play.
It will be a penalty, though, that does back up C.T. Martin. The Vikings representing Fulton County, their head coach is Jeff Watson. Unlike the other 2 programs today, and any of the programs we've had prior to this in our Sheriff's Cup, C.T. Martin not connected to a school, sort of a local youth booster club coming out of South Fulton. By the way, it's Douglas Gay still in at quarterback after seeing a lot of Zion Freeman. It's Douglas Gay here, and it looks like there may have been movement up front again for C.T. Martin, so having a hard time getting it started here right now.
Yeah, we did not see any of this in the first game. Not any of this.
Yeah, they were very crisp earlier, but not quite so much right now. Clock moving here. About 7.5 minutes left in this first of Well, it'll end up being 4 periods. Now, if you're just joining us, this is going to be confusing because it's going to look like a full football game.
Yeah, basically we're about to have a game.
Yeah, but the first 2 periods won't count for the final score because the format is round robin, then final.
For the kids, Brandon, for the kids.
So if you're Martin and you're going to have a couple of penalties, this is probably the time to do that because you're setting yourself up for the finale later on. Both these teams kind of clinching that spot because of their victories over Mill Creek earlier. You see Amani Hardy, another carry there for C.T. Martin.
They have been all out of sorts right here on offense. If I'm them, I got to get Beck involved here. Number one guy that we saw in the first game, Jacoby Beck. They got behind the chains on a penalty. They go back-to-back, I believe, penalties. So 3rd and 15.
How much of what you're seeing here would you attribute to the fact that, McEachern has a stout defensive line? They've got, good size there. Is what they're seeing physically from McEachern keying some of these miscues?
Probably early on. Things ramp up a little bit when you see that gentleman across from you is a little bit bigger than the previous game, and
we're also seeing them play their 3rd straight period.
Yes.
Could be a little bit of fatigue stepping in there. Gay's going to throw again. Big hit. Flying in to make that hit was Ivory Scott. That's A.J. Coates again.
I like him, man. God, look how long he is.
Coates 11 looks just like a 14 with those paint
splashes.
It's
Travis Hunter, man. Look at him.
Coates has an interception already today, a touchdown catch already today, and a big hit right there.
I like him, man. Ball player.
Impressive.
Comes back to return to punt.
That's right.
Dead.
Yeah. For those who are just joining us, we're doing the punt to create the opportunity for field position, but we're not doing the live returns.
Can I go ahead and invite A.J. Coates to the Georgia League Classic? Is that legal?
I would say that you probably can't extend that invitation for that 7th grade game for sure.
A.J. Coates, you have an invite to the Georgia League Classic back on your home turf in December.
You love that. By the way, you mentioned earlier, just across the way from where we are, the billowing smoke of some grills getting going over there and some cookouts taking place. You love to see people enjoying themselves around our 3rd annual Sheriff's Cup here Invitational.
They are feeding Mill Creek right now, who sure a good hot dog off the grill is going to make that ride back better.
Yeah.
What was it, Houston?
Houston, yeah.
Houston. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of towns in Georgia that you really kind of demonstrate how well you know Georgia by if you get the pronunciation.
Yes.
Houston would be one of those.
Yes. I live in the town of Rome, and it's Armurchie.
Okay.
But it's spelled Armucci.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. That's the way you pronounce it. It's Armurchie.
Of course, Cairo down there, the syrup makers, kind of an example of that.
Houston County's the one.
Yeah. But we'll see Houston County and their quarterback, A.J.
Tell you
Hill, coming up a couple Saturdays from now. Excited about that.
They put it on. We got a flag down right here, but here's Coates.
Yeah, Coates again.
He wanted to go to the house, man.
But you're talking about Houston County?
They put it on Chris County last night, 41-8.
It's going to be one of the most explosive offenses in the state. And, of course, Hill, the quarterback, a recent commit to Memphis. Interesting to see, the way in which, obviously, the NIL, transfer portal age, heavily favors the power conference more so than ever before. When it comes to quarterback, whether it be Tulane holding on to Michael Pratt, convince him not to transfer, or Memphis winning a recruiting battle over Florida, by the way, for a guy like A.J. Hill. When it comes to the quarterback position, the group of 5, especially if you've got FedEx money, things like that, which Memphis does, the quarterback position has been a spot where some group of 5 teams have found some success.
They only have 9 defenders on the field, I think. You got 10. Yep.
Handoff taking it into Viking territory that time.
And mentioning A.J. Hill, let me say this, because it is legal in the state of Georgia now to make money off your name, image, likeness. It was reported that he signed between $500,000 and $600,000 deal with Leaf Trading Cards.
I did see that, yeah.
So, hey, before you comment on that, put yourself in a situation your son has opportunity to get a $500,000 or $600,000 deal. So congratulations to him and his family.
Yeah. Now, there's been some talk, as you see, McQueen going to throw it up, and it's going to be caught.
Smooth.
Coates again, this time the 25-yard line. 23-yard catch for him.
Even the principal from McEachern likes that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's smiling.
She's having a great time.
Gina's got a smile over here, the principal here at McEachern High School, and seeing this youngster right here, my man.
You're talking about the NIL situation. Obviously there's been some controversy because the one thing the GHSA's made clear is the kind of stuff you see at the college level with collectives and what essentially amounts as pay for play.
Yep.
That's not what is legal in Georgia, allowable in Georgia. But the traditional actual endorsement deals, where in this case it's a
Leaf trading card.
It's a trading card company, a business for commercial purposes paying him. Obviously, that's very much allowed, and that's credit to Hill for being able to take advantage of that, as McQueen's going to keep it himself. 3 rushing touchdowns earlier this morning, and feeling like he should have gained some yards on penalty after that carry.
I tell you what, man, Coates is twitchy. Like he is sudden space, great ball skills. He's long.
3:33 in this first of 2 periods that'll conclude our round robin. Same 2 teams will then meet for a championship. So keep in mind here, if McEachern builds a big lead, it will not carry that over into the 2 final periods. McQueen going to throw, looking over there, left side, pass caught. Beck trying to wrap him up near the line of scrimmage, almost getting free, but a nice job of Jacoby Beck to hold on and make that tackle, limiting Damani Hernandez's chance for a positive gain.
Watch him read this, come up, break down, get a hold, almost strips it. Watch him try to strip it back. Good job right there by Beck. That's a perfect tackle in space.
Yeah, when you go for the football, you don't get it. Then you run the risk of the player shaking
Correct.
free and then getting a bigger gain. So nice job at the second effort to kind of get that back.
Big play here, 3rd and 9.
McEachern leading already 8-0.
Top of the screen.
Instead, it's going to be McQueen keeping himself. Ball came free. It's a tackle by Jamar Hughley around McQueen. Ball came free, fumbled forward, and fallen on by a McEachern player.
13 tackled the ball there. Good job.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of that today.
Early on, too, ball security. We're going to see that in Corky Kell in the high school.
That's right.
Special teams and ball security early.
Low snap, and we see a lot of that early in the season, too. McQueen going to try to make something out of this, trying to buy time to throw. How about it? It's keeping the play alive. That's amazing.
Oh, my
Wide
goodness.
open receiver, and it's caught once again by Coates. Coates gets a block, and it's a touchdown, and that is a dazzling highlight. And a well-earned dance after that. I have no idea how Xavier McQueen kept that play alive.
I want you to watch the wide receiver. After this play, how he was able to avoid the rush. When he gets the ball to Coates, if we have this, I want you to watch this wide receiver not clip down the field. Watch him body up this defender and hold his hand out right there. See that? He kept from clipping him, hitting him in the back. He just held his hands up, kind of picked him a little bit like a basketball play. But number 20, great job there. Javarius Meeks, by not causing a penalty, and Coates did the rest. But great play by McEachern quarterback McQueen.
Scoring summary brought to you by the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. And by the way, you saw Javarius Meeks get the chance to also dance with his teammate in the end zone after that, well earned. And here's McQueen going to go in for the 2-point conversion, and he'll make his way into the end zone. And McEachern adds to its lead here for now.
I tell you what, man, they are super athletic.
They really
They are super athletic.
Really are. As you see, Xavier McQueen, who had 3 rushing touchdowns in the first of our 3 round robin matchups against Mill Creek earlier, doing it with his legs there again. And you get the impression, there was a period of time a few years ago, at the end of the Kyle Hockman era, where, this was an incredibly talented McEachern team that was, competitive with anybody in the state of Georgia. Period of a couple of years after that, we probably didn't have quite the same level of talent. Great coaches coming through here like Franklin Stevens, but probably not quite finding that same level of talent. And yet now, under the leadership of Kareem Reed, you really get the impression this is a McEachern team that's sort of kind of cycling back here. I think they're going to be favored to win their region this season, for instance.
Yep.
And obviously, when you take a look at the junior Indians here, it seems like the future is well secure as well.
Yeah, I know. I think everyone I talk to around this program thinks Kareem Reed. He is the right fit for this team. He's the right fit for this program. I expect them to really – it's amazing the McEachern, the amount of talent they've had. They've been close twice to have never won a state championship. And I'm telling you, I told a lot of people, I would be willing to bet before Kareem Reed leaves McEachern High School, whatever point, he's going to leave here with a state championship ring.
And, of course, I don't know what Kareem Reed's personal aspirations are, but when you think about a young guy like this and a job like this,
yes,
you know, there's no reason why this couldn't be the place you stay for 20 years.
No doubt. No doubt. Jimmy Dorsey, I mean, obviously, longtime head coach here, still kind of involved in the program. You know, there's up South Carolina, still comes back and gets involved, and he was kind of involved with that hiring process this time. And, you know, Kareem Reed, when I found out he was going to be the guy, I was like, oh, man, that just clicks. Makes sense.
Indeed it does. This is, I believe, just a timeout on the field, right? Yeah.
I think it's a water break.
Yeah, water break here. So just a timeout on the field, not the conclusion of our period yet, but give these guys a chance to get some water, and good work by everybody making sure everybody stays hydrated today. I always tell my son and his young friends, drink more water than you think you need, because you know, this is one of those days where every drop of it's going to matter.
Let me just give a little shout out to my man Charlie, your son. Walks into Cooperstown. He comes off the 24-hour IR, steps up to the box, and my man goes yard in Cooperstown.
What an experience we had there, and I know a lot of folks that are listening to us and have had that experience, including Kirby Smart himself talking about it at SEC Media Days.
Yes.
Talking about doing a good job, and you know how it is when you transition, the same age these players are here too, there's that transition from like childhood sports to like full-on high school sports and or you know, high school styled sports, and so you know, taking some time to appreciate that as a 12-year-old, whether it be football players like this or you know, baseball, whatever the sport, you know, kind of enjoying those final moments of what sort of feels like that is a nice thing to do as you see kind of a cool flyover.
Yeah, man, so that's a real helicopter there.
Of course, we got Dobbins Air Force Base, not too far from where we are.
Question is Charlie's home run ball in his room or on your office desk?
No, it's going to be in his room, you know, for some time to come. And trust me, they know how to get you on that kind of stuff. You pay to get it stamped.
No
you
doubt.
get all the plaques.
Certified.
Trust me, that is an economy they have very much figured out up there in Cooperstown, New York.
Man, got a certified dinger.
You love that.
That's awesome, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
We had a great time this summer doing that. And longest period of time I've been away from work just because, you know, obviously, you know, up there for a good long time, but a wonderful experience.
Kirby Smart's son, Andrew Smart, made news yesterday. They're playing a big game here today around 1 o'clock. They're playing Virginia in the Little League World Series Southeast Region down at Warner Robins.
Our buddy Matt Stewart's been calling those games, doing a good job with that. We'll see Matt again on Monday, but nice to see him doing that, and kind of a fun event as you try to fight to get to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Interesting, all the rules in Little League as we see at a fall start, and this is something we did not see out of CT Martin at all first game. They look very kind of disorganized right now on offense. See what they do to adjust this down 16-0 early, but all the rules in Little League wasn't really familiar with that.
Yeah,
pitch count per day.
Yeah, as you see the Deer Park officials there, Tim Smith, our referee, keeping everybody organized there. Yeah, they're managing those pitch counts very closely.
Yeah, to the pitch. To the pitch, and you have a 36-hour window, you have a 24-hour window, and you know, essentially teams run out of pitching. That's why you get into those 14-13 type games. And from the scouting report I got a few minutes ago, they're expecting a shootout in Warner Robins.
Is that right?
That's what they're expecting. So we'll see how Team Georgia does today. I formation, play action. There he is.
Going to throw. Gay had his guy, but not quite able to connect there. That would have been the big play that Martin needed.
Yep. They got that in the first game, but he underthrows this in a little bit. They run play action from the eye, just a corner route from the tight end. You want to get those defenders with their eyes in the backfield. They had the play design they want, just unable to connect on that one. He had him early.
What's also interesting is that we saw a lot of Zion Freeman earlier at quarterback for CT Martin. Late in the last matchup against Mill Creek, we saw Douglas Gay come in. You might would have assumed that was just, getting him a chance to get involved because, Freeman had played well. I don't know if this is just the coach's decision. I know that Freeman did take a little bit of a shot a little earlier. He may be a little bit more banged up after having more of a chance to evaluate him. But we've kind of seen Gay be the guy at quarterback. And by the way, this could also be, as we kind of explained, these two teams have already clinched the championship. Yeah, maybe they're holding Freeman out too,
saving a little bit
for the matchup that's going to matter a little bit later on. So with that knee down, the first period of our final round robin matchup is going to come to an end. So we'll take a break here. We'll have 10 more minutes of football coming up between these two teams, with McEachern leading, and then we'll clean the slate and do the final after that. So quick timeout. Fun day of football so far at Peachtree Sports Network.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
I'm honored to be the 28th Sheriff of Fulton County. Our goal is to make sure that our community knows that we can count on them, they can count on us, and ultimately building those relationships, making sure it's a collaborative effort.
We have to work hard to build that trust. We have to work hard to maintain that trust as well.
Our motto is service. It just means dedicating yourself to your job, doing what you're supposed to do at all times, even when no one's watching.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
We are back here live, Walter Cantrell Stadium, McEachern High School. This is our Gwinnett County, Cobb County, Fulton County Sheriff's Cup. Brought to you by our friends at Georgia Construction Careers.com, Smart Local 85. Getting ready for more football between McEachern representing Cobb County, C.T. Martin representing Fulton County. Now, we believe that we're supposed to have 10 more minutes here in the final of our round robins, but we've also seen our executive producer, I.J. Rosenberg, talking to both coaching staffs.
I think this is the right thing to do here.
And the officials have now walked off the field. I would read this to say that we may be getting ready to fast forward to the finals. Is that what you're looking at?
Because I'll play another 10 minutes when it's the heat of the day. Got these kids on the field. Let's go ahead and get to the main event.
Right.
And I think that's what we're seeing right here. You see McEachern on the sideline. They have their players completely in the shade.
Yeah.
Same thing here.
And now my understanding is, and this is just, it just so happens that, Martin and McEachern were scheduled to play the final of those round robin matchups. My understanding is that we will erase this score and start over again at 0-0 for the final here. And we are seeing now McEachern, and you'll kind of see this in the corner of your screen, they are running back to their locker room. I think this is the right thing to do too. It's we've seen both these teams have kind of gotten their reps. It's like you want to get your reps, you want to get your action. They've gotten that, and now it's about sort of playing and determining who the winner of this event is. And so we're going to now kind of fast forward to the final here. So let's do this. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll kind of get the official particulars worked out, and we'll come back and sort of tell you how we're going to determine the winner today between McEachern and C.T. Martin. So quick break. We'll be right back after this.
walls break, and the lumber is used to build a dynasty. The Stripers play on Peachtree Sports Network tonight at 6. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream of.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Psst, I'm interested in trying these new weight loss shots, but I need it to be more affordable because my insurance doesn't cover it. I'm not sure which online provider to trust, and I want to ask a doctor a lot of questions.
You don't have to whisper. At Henry Meds, our knowledgeable providers demystify compounded semaglutide, the same active ingredient in brand name weight management meds. If you're eligible for treatment, your medication will be shipped to your door for just $2.97 a month. Join thousands of others who trust Henry Meds for weight management medication.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Walter Cantrell Stadium, 3rd Annual Sheriff's Cup. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel. So let me explain what happened here a moment ago. We've had a round robin involving 3 teams today. Mill Creek representing Gwinnett County, C.T. Martin representing Fulton County, McEachern representing Cobb County. And it just so happens that the 2 teams that were just playing in the final of these round robins are the final of the round robin, McEachern and C.T. Martin, were going to play also in the final. So given the heat, given the fact that a lot of folks have already played a lot of football, and given the fact that what was actually taking place wasn't going to have any contribution to how the actual event's going to be decided, the final of the 2 10-minute periods between McEachern and C.T. Martin was, we decided to essentially scrap that and get ready to kind of move ahead to our final, put 10 minutes on the clock. We're going to start playing that final, and that should be a really good football matchup again with a 0-0 score between both Martin and McEachern. So what we're going to do in a moment is essentially go back to Kaylee Manziel for kind of a halftime show type situation.
Pre-game.
Yeah, we'll call this a pregame show. How about that?
Pre-game.
So ahead of our final matchup for the Sheriff's Cup Championship with C.T. Martin and McEachern, we're going to let Kaylee Manziel get you ready for all of that, and then we'll be back in the booth and show you a really good football finale here coming up for our Sheriff's Cup. So my understanding is Kaylee Manziel is standing by. Kaylee, we appreciate your work all day long, and we'll let you take it here right now.
Hey, Brandon, thank you so much. I'm Kaylee Mansell, and it's the Tailgate Show brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, and I'm joined by Randy Beal of GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, as well as IJ Rosenberg of Score Atlanta. IJ, you're the brains behind this whole operation, but this is the first year it's been hosted in Cobb County. Why make the decision to switch?
Well, I think Cobb wanted it, and we've done the last 2 years in Gwinnett, and Cobb's been obviously very involved in the whole situation. So, when they decided that that they would host it this year, this is a great place. We've been here 1,000 times. Myra, the athletics director here, is fabulous, as well as Regina Montgomery, the principal, who we deal with a lot in a lot of different situations. So it's worked out good. It's a great place. There's a lot of practice fields. We'll have the Georgia League Classic here. We're moving it back from Rome here, so we're excited about that.
So, IJ, one thing about you that I always tell to other people who don't know you is how you have this mind. You're always thinking about the next thing. What can we do more? So when you thought about the Sheriff's Cup Invitational, why did you get involved in the event in the first place?
Well, actually, the unions and Randy brought us in. I mean, they were the ones that actually did that. I mean, what's nice about this game is it's a warm-up for everybody.
Yeah.
We've got 40-something games coming up, beginning with the Corky Kell Classic a week from Wednesday at Kell High School. But like little things like this, and Randy's done a fabulous job with his smaller trailer. He's got air conditioning for you. I heard your dad's giving you a hard time about that. But just like little things like mic flags, and we're going to, come in here and they'll put the Georgia Construction's career logo in. So it's really not for the whole staff. It's a nice warm-up. Plus, we're using a new truck. Roddy White, our executive producer, and Matt, who's been our director for the last 3 years. So it's nice to sort of get things going, and this is a perfect event and a nice event to support.
So, Randy, knowing what I know now, you were actually the brains of the entire operation.
Well,
why did you get involved?
Let's give credit where it's due. Ebo Taylor actually had been doing the Sheriff's Cup, and we had met with him, and he had brought it up about football, and I said, well, you ever thought about putting it on TV? He said, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I said, well, I do. And so one phone call later to IJ, and it happened. And I think 46 came into that meeting, and they were all on board. It's such a great cause. You know, anti-bully, anti-gang is something that we ought to talk more about. And the challenges that our youth are up against today are nothing like what I experienced when I was in school. And so anything we can do to bring awareness is great. And then, you know, if you have an idea and you bring it to IJ, it gets done, and I really appreciate that. It's been great. But we got a big season ahead of us, a lot of events coming up, and we're excited about it.
So I want you to think about the first Sheriff's Cup to now year 3. How have you seen the event expand and change?
It's cooler.
Yeah.
It's cooler
Not
today,
much.
and not much, but the air conditioning's helping. You know, I think just, first of all, you know, just experience and how we're running it, what we're doing, the exposure we're giving the young people. They also, we don't talk about this, they had a dinner the other night.
Yeah.
I think 300. Last night, 300
people.
people involved with that. So, you know, it's growing every year. We'd like to see it expand out to more counties. So if you're a county sheriff out there and want to know how to make that happen, get in touch with myself or IJ, and we'll figure it out. And we'd love to bring this out and get it even broader than it is.
IJ, we do the drive for the GHSA state title where we get to cover high school football every week. But what's so special about this event is that we get to put middle schoolers on display. How special is it that we're one of the only places in the country who are putting middle school football players on the television?
Well, it's great, and I think you're seeing a lot of the talent that, you know, at these 3 places, especially Mill Creek and McEachern. I know the other team sort of spreads out to a couple of different high schools. But a lot of these kids, you'll get a chance to see them play, not only in the Georgia Elite Classic, but for their respective teams in the next couple years, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, they're 7th graders, but we've got some exciting stuff coming up. We've got a new studio that great television, and myself at Score Atlanta and Randy and everybody, we built a heck of a studio that we'll be doing a daily show, which will be announced in the next, I would say, week to 10 days. So we got a lot of really cool things going on for high school. We've done our flag. We did a really good flag 7-on-7 camp. Had 102 teams at the boys camp. Had 11 girls teams. And I want to tell you something. Watching the girls play, they're good. And they're gonna. We have a big lunch Monday where we'll have about 350 people. And the girls teams, all 8 of them that are playing on October 3rd on television at West Forsyth High School in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Flag Championship, will be there on Monday. So it's a lot of fun. And then of course Tuesday be up at your place. Up in Rome, for those 6
Roman Empire.
Yeah, that's right, Roman Empire.
Randy, I feel like Georgia Construction Careers has its hand in a little bit of everything. I'm always seeing that logo somewhere. What are some of the other community outreach things that you're involved in?
So, we do a lot of different things. We're looking right now at maybe doing some things for breast care awareness, breast cancer awareness. And then we've done things building docks at lakes and communities. That's really cool. Sportsman Alliance, we do a lot with there. We build handicap ramps for people who can't afford to do that. We have our academy that they do projects in Atlanta with elderly people's homes. So look, we try to give back to the community. The community's been very good to us. We also try to get the message out that union labor is not the big bad bear. We're just regular people. We want to make a good living. We want to provide good benefits, and we'll be involved in our communities where we work, live, and play.
All right, IJ, we got to talk about some football for a second. We've got the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic coming up here really shortly. One thing about Corky Kell that keeps things interesting is that you bring in new teams every 2 years. Who are some of the new teams that we can expect to see, and what are the changes to the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic?
We've got 4 new teams at Mercedes-Benz: Houston County, Alpharetta, Cedar Grove, and Douglas County. Now, Douglas County may be the best team in the state, or at least have the most talent.
That's on the record.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. But we've got some interesting things. Douglas Atlanta's in it this year. Dunwoody's in it this year. We've got a really interesting game at West Forsyth between Prince Avenue Christian, who's really been the powerhouse private school at the lower level, is get a chance to play an upper level team like West Forsyth. So we're very thorough, which will play Hebron Christian. So I think of the 22 teams that we've got in, I think 11 of them are new. And we'll continue to do that every 2 years, is try to get more and more inclusive for Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic.
I've been doing this for, I think this is my 5th year, and this is the first time, or maybe the second time, that I've gotten to stand between 2 absolute legends. What a way to start out the rest of the season. Excited to work with both of you as the season goes on. But now it's time for some football. This is the championship game here at the Sheriff's Cup Invitational.
Why would you buy life insurance from anyone else when Senior Life gives you all your money back? It's simple. When other companies say they save you a percentage of your money, Senior Life says we give it all back. That's right. With return of premium life insurance from Senior Life, we don't save you a percentage of your money, we give it all back, 100%. It works like this. If you pass away while you're insured, your loved ones get a check for the coverage amount you chose. But if you're still living at the end of the term, you get back all the money you paid, guaranteed. Spend it any way you wish. While others may talk about saving you money, Senior Life is the only one giving it all back. Return of premium term life insurance gives you protection if you need it and 100% cash back if you don't. Get all your money back with return of premium life insurance from Senior Life. Call the number on your screen now for free information. You have no obligation. Call now.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're gonna do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
We have a passion to serve, a passion for excellence and integrity, a passion for our community. Together, we're committed to building the best sheriff's office in the state, where coworkers become family, where education and training leads to innovation, where trust leads to serving the people of Cobb with our best. One team, one fight, one community. Are you ready to make a difference? Join the Cobb County Sheriff's Office and join the fight.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
Welcome back, everybody. We have reached the championship of our third annual Sheriff's Cup Classic right here in McEachern High School, Walter Cantrell Stadium. It is C.T. Martin representing Fulton County with the football. They have actually run a play and lost 5 yards. Freeman back in at quarterback.
Man.
Zion Freeman tried to connect that time with Douglas Daniel, not able to come up with the big play. So a little bit of a different, though, spark, I would say, right now for C.T. Martin on that than most of what we saw if you're just joining us in the final of our round-robin matchup between these two teams, already clinching their way into the final. Martin already showing a little bit more life on that snap than they did in the previous 10 minutes against a McEachern team that's really kind of gotten whatever it's wanted so far most of today.
Yeah, second time they've ran that play. This time they're able to connect with the receiver, unable to get it in. So you see them going back to this formation.
So they're calling this second down. This is the third play that Martin has run. The first one was not televised. Apparently, if we didn't have it on TV, it doesn't count because they're calling this second down.
I wonder if it was a pre-snap penalty and made it 1st and 15.
You know what? That may have been what it was. You're right. That's a good correction. I thought it was a lost yardage play, but it was a penalty. I believe you're right about that. And so now that'll bring up third down. So it's a 0-0 score again. As we said, it's a clean slate for our championship. It's 2 10-minute periods. And whoever wins from here will be the winner of our Sheriff's Cup. Martin beating Mill Creek earlier in 2 10-minute periods. McEachern beginning the morning by also beating Mill Creek. McEachern was up 2 touchdowns on C.T. Martin a moment ago, but now it's 0-0 here as Zion Freeman trying to find some room. And he'll go down, and that'll be 4th down now coming up for C.T. Martin representing Fulton County and Sheriff Patrick Labatt in the Fulton County Sheriff's Department. By the way, provided a nice bus for the C.T. Martin team to travel together in here today.
They were pulling in the same time I was, and I was like, man, super nice bus there. And young man rode over in style. Big air-conditioned charter bus. After they feed them boys and bring them back, there'll be some naps taken on that bus going back.
You got to imagine so. It'll be well-earned rest time after what's been a long day of football for all of these teams here. And, of course, C.T. Martin and McEachern earning their way for even more football. It'll be a punt situation, low snap, but it's a dead ball. The kick will be away. It'll be fielded there, I believe, around the 46-yard line. So that'll be where McEachern gets the ball back. Now, when we've seen McEachern offensively, whether it be the quarterback, Xavier McQueen, whether it be a lot today of A.J. Coates, Meeks, this has offensively been a group that's kind of gotten what it's wanted today. So we'll see if that does carry over into the finale there as well.
You had to think C.T. Martin talked to their 2 corners, the guys out in space, safeties, because right now Coates and Meeks have been too much for anybody today, either team they have faced, especially out on the edge.
But the big lead they've built up is all for naught right now because they've got to win from here, and it's 0-0 again. McQueen will throw. Whistle blows right there at the catch. That was Kingston Solomon, who's played some running back, who got that pass catch.
I got 12 guys on the field.
The blue paint splotches around the McEachern numbers make them virtually impossible to decipher.
12 guys on the field again for C.T. Martin.
So they've had more miscues here against McEachern than they had in all of their 2 periods against Mill Creek prior to that.
Yeah, and then McEachern shows different formations. So you see this trip, just 3-by-1 they like. They got Caden Harrison down at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one this time. But they love this 3-by-1 set. You see those 3 receivers at the top.
Low snap to McQueen. He's going to have to just fall on it. Kind of skipped to him, and Martin was all over that, and McQueen just a good job to make sure he secured the possession.
Start seeing some guys getting tired. Yeah, some of the guys, a lot of snaps.
I also like, Rusty, we talk about this being, kind of a developmental level of football. You're also learning here to handle the sort of mental pressure of now you're kind of playing for something. You're tired, you're hot, but also, these moments you're going to decide who actually wins this event.
That's right.
Handling that pressure is kind of an interesting thing to learn. As you see a pass caught into Viking territory, and a nice move inside the 10-yard line.
Man.
A big throw and catch is going to get McEachern in business. That's Damani Hernandez who hauls that in.
And the ability of McQueen to extend the play has been big all day. We got picking up a flag. I believe we got a flag coming all the way back. I wonder if he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball.
That's interesting. So Hernandez, not one of the bigger guys on the field, but came up big that time for the Indians, but that's going to be negated by the penalty, and you saw the referee waving everybody back.
And he was low energy, too. Like, this, everybody settle down. We're coming back down here.
That is a long walk on such a hot day.
Yep.
By the way, you see our officiating crew live golf style with shorts on.
I love it. I get it right now. McEachern player giving the referee's penalty flag back. Pretty sure that's what they got him for, being past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
We are 7.5 minutes to go in the first of these 2 10-minute periods to decide the Sheriff's Cup. Here comes Martin. Kind of a Big breakthrough there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're starting to see some guys see their hands on the hips, getting hot, trying to restart this game, get focused. A lot of reps, heat. Who can focus in right here and make plays?
We talked earlier about Mill Creek bringing 37 players here. Neither of these teams quite as deep as that when it comes to total numbers. McQueen looking to throw again. Pressure coming his way. He's going to get slammed down. Big play defensively by the Vikings. It's number 30. We don't have a 30 on our roster for them, but an impressive play defensively. And that may be the spark that Martin needs here.
They got a little more juice to them defensively right here.
They do.
McEachern hadn't been behind the chains like this today, in my knowledge. A third and 20?
Yeah, looking at almost a full 20 here. McQueen feeling pressure again. Middle of the field. That's a pass caught. That's Hernandez again. Hernandez going to convert the first down.
Man, that is a tough play
with Damani Hernandez.
Got a little Isaiah McKenzie to him.
Yeah, he does. Of course, McKenzie of American Heritage. That's one of the we see Milton play that national schedule almost every year. They'll take on
about that game going down.
American Heritage.
Going down there.
I did a game there for one time.
You haven't even told me that.
Sonny Michelle.
I went down there one day. They trotted out two sophomore corners by the name of Patrick Surtain Jr. and Tyson Campbell.
Does that work at the high school level, you think?
I said, wait a minute. Those are your corners? And they said, these are sophomores. I was like, what are you talking about? Are the Dolphins practicing here today? My goodness. How about Tyson Campbell goes for $70 million?
Good for him.
Patrick Surtain certainly will wind up getting big money as defensive back.
And, Tyson Campbell, even as an elite recruit, had to really convince people he was a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? He had to really convince people that it wasn't just athleticism, that he could be the true corner.
And what's really helped him, Brandon, in the NFL, is playing more man-to-man. Playing more man-to-man, able to, at times I think he had some ball skill issues trying to track the ball. That was the Georgia fans, like, he can't turn around, he can't make a play on the ball. He was always there, but certainly as the NFL has come around and the game really evolves to him there, he plays a ton of man-to-man in the NFL.
How ready are you for the start of college football season? Obviously, when you think about some of these early season matchups, I mean, it's going to be, and obviously we love the sport, but it's going to be maybe the most interesting season of our lifetime because of the expanded playoff, because of the new look Big Ten, SEC. And it starts almost right from the word go with some of these first couple of weeks worth of non-conference matchups.
Think about it right now. We're 3 weeks away from Notre Dame and Georgia Tech in Ireland. So there's some big games that
Florida
day.
State and Georgia Tech, right?
Florida State and Georgia Tech. Notre Dame plays
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, yeah. So there's some big games over there in this week 0. And then you go into this. I talked about this week with Cole Kublik and those guys, Greg McElroy. You look at Georgia, Clemson, and then you turn right back around. You have Miami and Florida. You have 2 ACC, SEC matchups. I think those 2 games are absolutely make or break for the ACC.
And the loser of the Miami-Florida game is an apocalypse.
Yes.
And that's an apocalypse.
Yes.
Because Miami's desperate to show with Cam Ward at quarterback that they can kind of take a step forward with Mario Cristobal. And obviously the Florida schedule, once you get to SEC play, is so tough that
that's that last month.
Yeah, their November schedule is as tough as I've ever seen anybody play. Ever. And, in addition to that, Florida also plays, of course, Florida State to conclude the year. They play the other power conference team in their state. They also play UCF this year, too. And, with KJ Jefferson at quarterback, Gus Malzahn head coach, that's not an easy game either.
Yep.
See the snap going the way of McQueen. McQueen going to get another rushing touchdown, but hold everything. There is a flag down. McQueen, who had 3 rushing scores to begin the game. I should say to begin the day, the first scrimmage against Mill Creek. Had a chance at one right there, but a hold will bring that back.
And that's one of those things, McEachern, too. You start seeing some guys get tired. You see them talking to the linemen. You see those big guys that have been playing both ways.
That's not easy to do.
You know. And those are young guys, and they're full of energy. But, man, most of those big boys there from McEachern, I noticed early on, they were playing both ways. So we're getting later in the day. I got to get me some glasses. I feel it. I feel those. I feel
nice.
I feel those glasses.
That's nice.
I think I got one left in me. Like one more cool thing left in an old 51-year-old body. I think I'm gonna get those glasses.
I can see that. Queen that time had a hard time holding on to the snap, and that's going to create an opportunity for Douglas Daniel to get in there and make that tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
It's been a really sloppy game, and this is where you start seeing things like that, Brandon.
So McEachern has almost scored at will for much of today in its previous round-robin matchups leading into this finale, but it has not been nearly as easy to come by in this kind of championship period. And C.T. Martin has found its defensive swagger at exactly the right time. See Damani Hernandez kind of sliding over into that slot position.
He just looks like a slot, doesn't he?
He does. Hit a big catch earlier. McQueen got the ball knocked free. I think his hand was going forward. They're going to call that, a fumble. It almost looked like could have been an incomplete pass, but they're going to say knocked free right there at the spot. That'll bring up fourth down. So you assume long field that McEachern not going to have to punt. It appears that's the case. C.T. Martin not quite so sure, but it is indeed the case. In a dead ball situation, the punt is caught there at the 25-yard line. So
good job defensively there.
Good job defensive by C.T. Martin, and an interesting offensive possession for them to come up. Someone going to win the Sheriff's Cup here. We got a good conclusion on the way. We'll be right back after this.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
I'm honored to be the 28th Sheriff of Fulton County. Our goal is to make sure that our community knows that we can count on them, they can count on us, and ultimately building those relationships, making sure it's a collaborative effort.
We have to work hard to build that trust. We have to work hard to maintain that trust as well.
Our motto is service. It just means dedicating yourself to your job, doing what you're supposed to do at all times, even when no one's watching.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 4:16 to go in the first of two 10-minute periods to decide our third annual Sheriff's Cup Invitational at McEachern High School. The home team, McEachern, going to go back on defense here after a nice defensive stand by C.T. Martin representing Fulton County just before we went to our last commercial break. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel on hand for that. Kaylee Manziel been doing a great job all day long from our host position.
50 looks like he's standing next to Juan Gadsden there. I feel you, my man. We don't have 50. I wanted to call 50 out. We don't have any of the big boy numbers for C.T. Martin.
That's right.
That's what the big guys love.
Zion Freeman is back in at quarterback here for C.T. Martin. He's going to hand the ball off.
This is who they got to get going. Jacoby Beck.
Beck gets about 5 on that first down carry. He had a nice performance against Mill Creek earlier today.
Straight downhill, ISO play out of I formation. Got to get him the ball. I think he's the difference maker for them.
We'll call this second and about 5 here right now.
Clock running pretty quick. A half, a quarter, whatever we're calling this. About 3 minutes left. 3:44 left here. And we'll have one more 10-minute quarter.
Freeman is in the shotgun. Bradley is the running back to his right. You got 5 across defensively for McEachern. Sweet play there on the right side. First down yardage and a big hit after that. But C.T. Martin going to move the chains.
Jet sweep, just hand it off. I like it. Getting your guy in space. Takes a shot there by the McEachern defensive backs.
We don't have a 30 either. Our roster for C.T. Martin stops at 25. So anything that begins with a 3 or more, we'll have to be more generic in our description.
I want to give 99 some love there at right tackle. Just can't do it, Mom.
Freeman, handoff again. Fighting up to the 38.
Interesting adjustment
Bradley.
here. Interesting adjustment here for C.T. Martin. They have been primarily double tight, almost a wishbone look, real tight splits. They have come out in this second game, and they are going spread, and they're getting some numbers they like outside the box against McEachern.
I like their ability to change their formation.
Yeah, this is 2 different offensive packages here now. I mean, they are 2-by-2 set, shotgun. Now they bring in an attached tight end.
Freeman taking the snap. Going to have time. Now pressure comes. Now he's going to have to run. Nice job defensively by McEachern that time, keeping him where he was. Looked for a minute that Freeman was going to have all the time in the world to throw, then that pocket collapsed pretty quick. Third down now.
Third and about 6.
Of course, we'll see you again on the Peachtree Sports Network very soon, a couple of weekends from now. The Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic from West Forsyth, Kell High School, Barron Stadium in Rome, Hebron Christian Academy, and of course, on Saturday, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Fake the sweep that time. Freeman keeping it.
Maybe about 2, maybe 1.5 yards short here.
So it's decision time, and
I go for this.
I think you have to.
Yeah, I would.
Plus, you've got the momentum on your side.
You just had to stop defensively.
Also, remind you of the rules here. When this period ends, it operates more like a half than a quarter because this possession will not continue for C.T. Martin. And so while they send somebody up to the line of scrimmage, they're content to let this time run out. Not wanting to risk it. I don't know if that was intentionally deliberate, if they got caught off by the clock ticking away. The clock is behind them here as we're keeping most of this on the field. But that's going to bring that to a close. And that's going to leave us 10 minutes away with no score right now from determining who wins this 3rd annual Sheriff's Cup. Good drama to wrap things up here today. We'll see you right after this.
But it's how champions evolve.
walls break, and the lumber is used to build a dynasty. The Stripers play on Peachtree Sports Network tonight at 6. Over the air on 17.2, on cable, and streaming on YouTube TV and Fubo.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream up.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Okay, going back to one.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are two very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in it in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
The Smart Local 85 Sheriff's Cup Invitational is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. The Cobb County Sheriff's Office. One team, one fight, one community. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Service. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. Teamsters Local 728. We fight for hard-working families. And Sports Turf. You bring the vision. We'll bring it to life.
10 more minutes of football still to come. Brandon Adams, Rusty Manziel, Kaylee Manziel from our host position. It's the final here of our third annual Sheriff's Cup Invitational. Representing Fulton County, you see him on the screen there, C.T. Martin, against representing Cobb County, McEachern. McEachern won both of its round-robin matchups in the earlier portion of the day. C.T. Martin beat Mill Creek, but was losing to McEachern when the round-robin portion came to an end, and now after a 10-minute stalemate in the first of our championship periods, now we'll play this final, you want to call it a quarter, to determine who the Sheriff's Cup winner is going to be. It has been a dominant day for most of the morning into the afternoon for McEachern.
There you go.
But they have not found that same level of success here during this championship matchup, although they do go back on offense now to begin this period. Going to be a handoff to Michael Willis. Willis up to the 42. First down yardage for him, so they'll move the chains quickly on the first snap.
Big Bradley chased him down from behind there for C.T. Martin. Good pursuit there, but nice play. Getting out on space. Look at Bradley chase him down.
You know, what we really haven't seen from either of these teams is the kind of, 5 yard at a time off the scoring drives. Almost every score in this game has come by virtue of the big play. So keep that in mind here. That's a big hit. Douglas Daniel getting involved on that one.
The way the clock runs, you want to think McEachern probably gets 2 more possessions, maybe. See if they can put something together. See if they get the ball into Coach's hand. He's been their guy today.
It's going to be McQueen trying to get to the left side at the quarterback spot, trying to find that block, couldn't get there. And once again, Martin active in the backfield, bringing McQueen down for lost yardage.
They've been a much better team defensively in this particular game.
Is that just a different physical spark, or do you think they kind of saw something out of that 10-minute period they played in the round-robin portion that's helped them?
I don't see anything schematically. I think they're just playing harder. I think they realized how good McEachern was. You turn around, we're down 16-0.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to wipe it clean.
McQueen is going to throw.
Here's the play. Got to make this tackle.
And that's a pass caught. Javaris Meeks gets the big gain. That's going to set up McEachern well into CT Martin territory there at the 32-yard line.
That's their game. Play in space, and can you make a tackle? You see a bad angle there. Stiff arm by Meeks. And he is down the field for a chunk play. That has been their game today. Ball in space to Coates and Meeks, and if you miss a tackle, you give up a chunk play.
Here's McQueen looking left side. Going to throw, crank it up. Big arm, and it's not quite hauled in there. Would have been a huge gain inside the 10-yard line, but not able to connect.
Ball came out of his hand a little messed up. The ball was almost a knuckleball.
It was, yeah.
So it was hard for the receiver.
Of course, A.J. Coates has been doing a little bit of everything all day long today. Gap on the defense right there, but just not quite able to connect.
He tracked the ball great, man, for 7th graders. Incredible.
Yeah, really good.
Body adjustment. We got a player down right here. But the body adjustment of Coates, he is special.
Yeah, really been impressed by him. Going back to what we also saw a moment ago from Meeks on the catch that set this up. Actually, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and talk more about this injury situation on the field. We'll watch that and come back and decide who's going to win the Sheriff's Cup here today.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back. You have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together we can make a difference.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Welcome back, everybody. You see Jameer Cudger there for CT Martin. Looks like he's okay as he walks off the field. He's got a well-earned water bottle in hand there and being taken care of by the staff on hand here, so it seems like he's okay, which is good to see as we continue to battle here in a scoreless matchup in the final of our 3rd annual Sheriff's Cup. Xavier McQueen going to go handoff there. That's Kingston Solomon. And CT Martin once again equal to the challenge up front. Getting the stop and setting up 3rd down. 3rd and about 6 right here coming up.
Bradley has been everywhere defensively for them.
Xavier McQueen, the quarterback, boy, it looks like Martin tried to bring the pressure and they jumped off sides. I don't think that's going to be good enough for the first down, but it's going to get them real, real close. Like maybe about a half yard short. Almost a full yard. So that penalty certainly costly, but not good enough for that first down. A little less than a full yard. Coming after McQueen again. McQueen looking to get outside. He does. Down the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? Out of bounds there at the 6. That'll move the chains and they'll set up 1st and goal in the red zone coming up here for the McEachern Junior Indians.
Douglas Gay.
So almost a fourth rushing touchdown of the day for McQueen. Instead, just stepping out of bounds. McQueen, this time handoff, cutting back left, fighting down to about the 2-yard line.
Ball came out a little bit late, but McEachern recovered anyway.
That was Javaris Meeks again getting the carry. He had a big catch earlier in this period.
Javaris Meeks pulling the carry.
They've got a little help there. Maybe got a little help.
Just a tad.
It's a second and goal for the Big
Late in the day, we'll let that one ride. See if McQueen keeps this one here.
Yeah, it's second goal, by the way. McQueen going to throw. Slant pattern in the middle of the end zone. Incomplete.
And he had him too.
Curtis Sales had the coverage that time.
He had him. He was out. He had his DB on his hip. Just unable to get it in there.
That was Caden Harrison, the intended target. He had a 2-point conversion catch earlier today.
I wonder if they throw this thing to Meeks. He's been the guy they've went to on 2-point plays, one-on-one.
McQueen looking left side. Going to try to throw into traffic.
Oh, he almost caught that.
Almost came up with it. And that was to A.J. Coates, who's had a huge day today.
A.J. Coates on the play. The pass ball is incomplete.
Oh, look at this. Fingertips.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. He almost caught that.
Man. Impressive day for him and a very bright future ahead in the sport. Now, is that Coates that also
I think he's
kind of the wind knocked out of him when he kind of landed flat on his back like that? Yeah.
Probably is. Man, what an athletic move. I'll be honest here now. 4th and goal. I don't know that I don't go that 3-by-1 and put Meeks by himself and see if he can just out-jump his defenders on it. They've run it twice on the 2-point play.
I mean, you've also got the benefit of the long field if you don't get it. Keep in mind, you know, McQueen's also got 3 rushing touchdowns today. Could have also had another one. So you've got a pretty good menu of options here if you're McEachern.
Some water out there. We got an update from Warner Robins. Team Georgia 3-0 after the first inning. 3-run home run. They battle to get to Williamsport in the Little League World Series.
Same age kids, by the way. Interesting to kind of make that comparison.
Same age, yeah. Several of that Team Georgia, from my understanding, play at North Oconee. A couple of them play at Prince Avenue. So there's some football players on that team.
Well, it's amazing to me how the Athens area, from a scholastic athlete standpoint, is really exploded. You know,
all of them.
All the Oconee schools, the private schools in the area. Clark Central is going to be among the favorites in its region here this year. Just interesting. I'll count Jefferson as part of the Athens area too, and they've obviously had great athletic success here recently as well.
They put Beck on Meeks. I like that matchup.
That's a fun battle. That's good. You almost want to zero in on that. Going to try to throw, diving for the touchdown, and he got it.
Wow.
How about that from A.J. Coates? What a day, what a play, and how much fun is that to see McEachern take the lead?
What an absolute player, man. That ball was underthrown, and he still finds a way to go get it. Look at this.
I mean, that is
caught
something.
It too.
That's a real catch.
Oh, number 8 was like, I've got this.
Our scoring recap brought to you by the Cobb County Sheriff's Department. How about that from Coach? They'll line up and go for 2. And by the way, this is a big play to make it an 8-point lead. Looking right side this time. It's a pass caught. Hernandez, though, going to be wrapped up short of the goal line. And so that makes the score 6-0. So with 6:22 remaining, getting that 2-point stop creates an opportunity for C.T. Martin here. But how about that catch by A.J. Coates, who would appear to be a legitimate prospect based on his actions today. On 4th down play, as you said. Now, we'll find out here if C.T. Martin, that did dial up the big plays against Mill Creek, can they do that now against McEachern? Looking forward to Monday, one of the highlights on my calendar, the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic kind of kickoff luncheon. Of course, Rusty, you'll also see folks in Rome on Tuesday.
Be there Monday and Tuesday. And, man, it just kicks off. You just look forward to that event, and what a great event it is. I believe IJ mentioned it'll be 350 people in the house on Monday for the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic Luncheon.
Also some fun for us, kind of embarking on a kind of a new journey here of a fantastic award coming up at the end of the season as well, and we'll start to highlight some of those candidates on Monday too.
Yeah, much kind of. It's one of those things, we got involved with the High School Football Hall of Fame. We really didn't know we didn't have one. I really didn't know we didn't have a Mr. Football.
Yeah. So I think honoring someone with that award, boy, you're talking about tightly contested too. How great is that going to be?
And you're going to be the first one.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big one.
You see Beck there, Jacoby Beck, getting a chance to carry the football, and you see McEachern swallowing him up almost right away. Really gets maybe a yard. Bring up 2nd and 9 now, and clock's starting to become a little bit of a factor. We are keeping this on the field and under 6 minutes. McEachern leads 6-0. Been a fun day throughout here, as Cobb County, Fulton County, Gwinnett County have been well represented by the fans and the law enforcement folks. You see Freeman now trying to run, and just defensively, McEachern's been equal to the task. That was Javars Meeks again, who's made plays and comes up and makes one right there.
He's been really good on both sides of the ball, but that quarterback really wanted to run that one.
Yeah, Freeman will go back over to the sideline, talk with his coaching staff here. They want to make sure they get this right coming up on 3rd down. I've got it as 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it should be 3rd and 7, and I would imagine this is, with the clock running under 5 now, I would imagine this is 2-down territory.
Yeah, I think you've got to. We've seen them hit big passing plays.
Yeah. Kobe Beck's the guy I'd be looking for over here in the slot, number 1.
McEachern showing some pressure. A little bit of a high snap for Freeman. Freeman going to get a flag down. It's going to be brought down at 1st down yardage, but it's going to be a hole that's going to back that up, and it is tough to back up a 12-year-old team 10 more yards.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of those plays in the playbook, so that's going to be a costly penalty.
He's going to come back and have a holding on CT Martin.
So I guess the question becomes here, can you get some of this back to make it a manageable 4th down? I don't want to discount their ability to do it, but that's a long conversion. We're at 4.5 minutes remaining. The start of a football calendar for us here on the Peachtree Sports Network. They'll see us televise more than 30 games this year. Nice look at Zion Freeman. Freeman wanted to pass, but once again didn't have time to do so, and he gets out of bounds with really very little gain, and all of a sudden now 4th down is going to be extremely long. Does this change your? Do you punt this now that it's 4th and forever?
I don't know that you can even flip the field as a punter. You know what I mean? If you punt it to the 50, what's the difference here?
It's a good point.
You know what I mean? If you could punt it to the 30, but the way this game's set up, I think you just try to get the ball quicker out of his hand. They're going to punt it. Got 3 timeouts left. They got a guy all the way to the wide side. Nobody's down here on him. And he punts it.
Can they get a bounce? And by the way, smart play that time by A.J. Coach to not let that ball bounce, because all of that is about what happens after the roll. And so if you come up and catch it, which is the only part of the punt situation that's live, everything else is the only person that's moving is the punter and the returner. And if you step up and catch that ball, you're saving yourself 10, 15 extra yards, because that's clearly going to be a roll if it bounces.
quick shot. Them dudes like, we have a little more water, Coach. It's like,
let me have a refill.
It's like that last lap in NASCAR. You just get just like 2 gallons.
Yeah.
I hope you make another lap.
Yeah, you got to believe there'll be some guzzling of some of that liquid once this comes to a close. But for McEachern, they're going to try to hold on to this lead for a little less than 4 minutes, and they get nice positive yards on first down to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Starting to open up some holes in the ground game, which is going to make them very, very tough to beat.
Yep. So 3:40 left. 2nd and 5 from the 40.
I believe that was Malachi Brooks who had to carry that time for McEachern. They'll show you a couple of receivers off to the left. Now a pair on the right as well. In no hurry whatsoever.
No.
And smartly so. McQueen takes the snap. That's a handoff. Looking for some room and finding it. Flag does come in late. If it's against Martin, it's a first down. And if not, it's going to negate what was a very impressive and tough, hard run. It's Michael Willis who had the carry. Douglas Daniels giving chase on the tackle. But much like we saw a costly penalty on Martin in its last offensive possession, now we'll see that go against McEachern here. Might be the break that CT Martin needs, because it's going to be now second and almost 16, second and 16.
Yep. They may want to call a timeout.
Yeah, McQueen's going to run all the way over to the sideline and talk to his coaching staff. Now going to run back.
Yep.
And then they'll take the penalty on after that.
Yep.
So he gets to delay a game. Queen seems a little surprised by that.
He wanted to call timeout, but
only chewing up that extra time. And
they're saying they didn't reset the clock after the penalty. Teacher, staff, doesn't really matter. They don't get this flag, but
McQueen now going to keep it himself, trying to find that block on the left side. He gets it. Crossing the 40-yard line down to about the 38. Boy, that's what he's done a lot today with his legs.
Yep.
I mean, he just chews up all that lost yardage, penalty yardage, and I mean, that's a big play at a big time for McEachern.
Yeah, that might have sealed it there with 2 minutes to go. It's first and second and 4 should be, I think.
Yes.
Should be
Yes,
second.
not first down.
Should be second.
Yeah, it's not first down. Although that is what the...
Hey, it's early in the season, man.
By the way, here's some McEachern fans underneath us starting to do the chop and the chant to go along with that.
Bradley's
Yeah. Cartavius Bradley is not giving up on anything.
Not an ounce. He has been a handful. He's played hard. He's pursued. They're going to call timeout with 1:39. CT Martin is, but
down marker's now showing second down, but
I don't see how it could have been.
I just don't either,
because he scrambled, and that should have been 2nd and 5.
But if you look where the first, so apparently McQueen was given a first down on that run, despite the fact that it certainly appeared that he was stopped a little bit short. Now showing second down on that, so 99 seconds remaining in our game, and if it holds, it'll be McEachern, the first Cobb County team to host a Sheriff's Cup, and maybe soon to be the first Cobb County team to win a Sheriff's Cup.
You will.
See the McEachern coaching staff also trying to get some clarification from our referee here. Okay, so now we're changing everything, and now it's 4th down. Down marker now showing 4th down. So So we've had something approximating anarchy here for the last.
I'm trying to figure out what. I know it's early. Like, what am I missing here?
Yeah, so now we're showing 4th down. Still not quite what I think it needs.
Now it's 4th down. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. McEachern staff is.
Yeah, they're not happy at all because obviously, depending on what down it is, you're obviously calling it a different selection.
Yeah, they're going to punt. They're going to punt. And I don't think McEachern staff is hyped.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're still trying to talk. The down marker got messed up. After the penalty, after the negative play, the next play McQueen ran all the way to the 40, so it should have been 2nd and 5.
Yeah, because it was 4th down, but it's not. It should have been 4th and 8, right? It should have been 4th and much shorter than that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, and listen, look, it's been a long day for everybody.
Yeah,
everybody's out there just trying to do the best they can. Coaches, by the way, you see a nice look there at the Sheriff's Cup. What a beautiful thing that is.
Yeah. Beautiful staff is 30 yards on the field, by the way, but yeah, that's a great trophy, great event.
Yeah, really well done by everybody around. And we certainly don't fault anybody for the miscues there a moment ago. It's just an attempt to sort of get all that right.
The white hat does not want to go to the sideline.
Yeah, he's trying to say close the middle field as he can.
We're trying to get the parking lot. It's the 1st down. He didn't even talk to him.
I think McEachern knows that it has, its head coach, D. Verdon, I think it knows it has
an argument.
Well, winning argument here, but unfortunately there's just no.
Yeah, you're about 24 degrees too hot for that discussion because White Hat is not coming to talk to you.
I don't care if you are right. This is still what we're doing.
Yep.
So we'll see if this creates an opportunity for C.T. Martin.
Man, if they bust one right here.
Freeman, now flag comes in late. They may have hit Freeman late there. Freeman was wrapped up, went down. Flag came in right after the tackle. Somebody may have gotten there a step late. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. By the way, let's congratulate Xavier McQueen here as our player of the game today. It's presented by the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Nice throw to A.J. Coates there a moment ago. McQueen's had a nice day today. Was very impressive in the opening round against Mill Creek. So C.T. Martin gets the benefit of the penalty yards here. Ball now sits at the 31-yard line. They've got 80 seconds to make something happen. A touchdown would tie it. What would almost certainly be a two-point try after that. Could win it. But it's a long field to get there. Freeman going to crank up, going to throw a high one up for grabs. A fight for the football, and McEachern will come down with it and head back towards the end zone. It'll be an interception return for a touchdown, and that should put the Sheriff's Cup on ice. Caden Harrison gets the pick, he gets the touchdown, and McEachern will win your 3rd Sheriff's Cup Invitational on their own field. We'll make that our play of the game. Presented by Teamsters Local 728. Ball up for grabs. Harrison is there to get it. He'll find the interception, find the sideline, and take it back for the score.
Big plays all day from McEachern.
They will, if it stands here over the course of the next 65 seconds, not only exit with that beautiful trophy we showed you a moment ago, they have not been scored on all day long today either. And now they'll go for their two-point conversion, try to extend the lead, throwing out to the left side.
Knee down.
Was his knee down?
Yep.
No, they're going to say he got in.
It's just too easy.
Yeah, A.J. Coates, really nobody on him. That's a touchdown and now a two-point conversion for him during this finale. By the way, when we conclude here, what we presume is going to be the winning coach, Coach Verdon from McEachern, we'll get a chance to hear from him. Of course, Kareem Reed, the McEachern varsity coach, has also been on the sideline for much of the day as
He
well.
has been there the entire time. See him over there in the white with a towel around his neck.
So it's been an impressive day today for McEachern, and this is now a couple of different sessions in which McEachern has essentially handled Martin by a couple of touchdowns, and this is a good CT Martin team.
Yeah, they played much better second half, second time around.
So I would imagine if you're in Cobb County and you find this McEachern Junior Indians team on your schedule for this upcoming season,
and you know the coaches from around the region are watching today, and you know you're going to have to deal with Meeks and Coates and McQueen.
I would imagine that makes for some not too fun Saturday mornings.
They'll do some tackling drills in space.
Yeah, our producer Roddy White says our middle school teams were never on TV, no doubt. But McEachern's put on quite a show here today on the Peachtree Sports Network. Here is Freeman trying to get what he can. Under a minute now. We'll see if the Vikings from Fulton County can have a positive moment to sort of finish things up. So to remind you what we've been talking about today, we'll do a Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic luncheon on Monday from Atlanta. We'll do one up north Tuesday for all the folks participating in the Rome events. And then we'll come back the following week and play the game starting on Wednesday there from Kell High School. They always do such a good job of hosting those events. Thursday from West Forsyth. Friday from Rome. Saturday, it's 2 Saturdays from now from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Fun to welcome in some new teams this year. First time ever for Prince Avenue Christian, kind of representing the Athens area. Hebron Christian in. Looking forward to seeing Jonathan Guess's team there. Ball up for grabs again. Intended target Ryan Bonner couldn't come down with that, and you had A.J. Coates right there in coverage. Perhaps not a surprise after the day that he's had. 4 seconds left. Looking at our final play probably coming up. Then we'll have Kaylee Manziel talking to Coach Verdon in the victorious McEachern sideline. And then we'll get ready to say goodbye to you after that here from McEachern. Boy, a beautiful view here in this Powder Springs area of Cobb County. As you sit up top this press box, look across all these rolling hills. Great display of football by all three of the teams involved. And a tremendous community service here by the Cobb County, Gwinnett County, and Fulton County Sheriff's Department to make it all happen. But it's the folks from Cobb who have the smiles on their face today. It's the McEachern Junior Indians, the host team who gets the win in both of its round-robin events, the championship there as well. And not only do they do that, they do so without being scored upon all day long. And we'll see a great display of sportsmanship here with both these teams coming out for the handshake. And really nothing for CT Martin to hold its head low about. They've played some good football today. But when it mattered, McEachern found a way to do what it needed to do to get the win here and represent its school very well on the same field where its varsity teams do battle on Friday nights. Obviously a lot of bright high school futures you would imagine in the years to come for many of the players we've seen today, including the team from Mill Creek, who obviously we got a chance to see a little earlier. Always a fun way to start the season, and this year certainly no disappointment when it comes to that there as well.
Great product too, man.
It is indeed.
First game of the year for these teams, and you just see a lot of why the state of Georgia is so different.
You see a lot of the Cobb County Sheriff's Department folks celebrate with McEachern. That team will gather around Kaylee Manziel. Our good friend Ashley Carey's got the trophy over there too, and so it'll be getting ready to be presented to Coach Verdon and the McEachern Junior Indians. They're gathering in place here right now, and these are the kinds of sights and sounds you love seeing when it comes to football in the state of Georgia. What a day for McEachern. What a fun moment. We'll give them some time to get in place, and we will give them a well-deserved Sheriff's Cup trophy here on a day in which the McEachern Junior Indians have played about as well as they possibly could. Kaylee Mansell is standing by with a very happy crop of McEachern Junior Indians. Kaylee, go ahead.
And welcome back to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell with the winners of the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. It's McEachern.
Clap it up.
Congratulations! I'm Chief Anderson with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and I am so proud of my McEachern Indians, the champions of the 7th grade team. Congratulations. Here's to you.
All right, y'all, let me get your coach for a second. Coach, it's a tight game at the half. I think it was a nail-biter for all of us. What was the message to your team at halftime?
Message is stay consistent. I finish off. You know, I got a team who played last year. They played a championship game, didn't finish the way they wanted to. So our whole goal for this season is just to make sure we finish every game we play, starting with this first one.
Right at the end there, you had that interception to seal the deal. What was the reaction from your team behind you on the sideline once they realized this game might be over?
That same consistency, finishing the game. You know, great job for our number 7, Caden. Clap it up for him.
Yeah.
The funny thing was he just came off. He got hurt like 2 plays before, came back on the other side of the ball. A standout play. Way to close it out, seal the deal.
And the good thing is you're not only winning for McEachern, but also for Cobb County. What's it like to represent your county for something so much greater than all of us?
It's a big picture. The whole message of the Sheriff Cup, we appreciate it. We're glad to represent. This is our second opportunity being here, and we came to finish the deal the second time around.
Absolutely, guys. I want to wish you congratulations one more time. I'm Kelly Mansell with the winners of the Sheriff's Cup Invitational. It's the McEachern Indians, and now we're going to give it back to Brandon and Rusty.
Kaylee Mansell, great job all day long. And, of course, the McEachern Indians, great job all day long there as well. You see the final, 14-0. McEachern gets the win over C.T. Martin. Rusty, how impressive has this day of football been?
It just means we're here, man. And I tell you, I know what to expect.